Let's see if we can do this right. Probably not.
Hey?
Well, it shows that we're going live. Hopefully we're live. We got sound. We got video. We're live. It's the watch party for the Flex launch event. And we are ready. We got 28 minutes till game time. So we're here to answer questions, talk to everybody, and see what we can figure out. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me pull up my my chat window here so I can follow along with everything that's going on. Let's see here. There's a whole bunch of conversations going on. We got Jason in the house. Ryan, M1975. Tool Nerd. That's a cool one. Connor Mercer. On-site Electrical. Scott. Mark. Ricky. Mike. Walker. Was that Renan? Fry Guy. KY Investor. Avalez. USMC Semper Fi, man. Oh, let's see. Fry Guy says, Den Tools, what's up? Let's see here. What else we got here? C. Adams is in the house. Red is off tonight. He already did his video for the day, and, you know, he's talent, so he never does overtime. He's a slacker. John Gonzalez in the house. Hey, John. Die's in the house. Hey, Die. Let's see here. Philly Fixed is here. By the way, if you missed it, that's the new name of the channel for it was Always Busted in Philadelphia. He changed it to Philly Fixed. I think it was a smart change. Anyway, he had me on for about half an hour earlier today. I didn't have a lot of time. If we're talking flex tools and whatnot. Wang Chung says, Jeff, I put my beloved Cobalt XTR tools in the other room so they won't hear anything. I'll watch with an open mind. Well, the good news is, and I'll tell you this, I for everyone knows, as you can tell, we've been working closely with Shervon and Flex. So they sent me the tools for free, and they sent me some other stuff. We're going to be giving away a goodie bag with a bunch of other stuff in it as well at the end of the show tonight. XTR. I asked them, I had a meeting with 4 of their bigwigs on Friday, and I asked them point blank, will this be impacting Cobalt, specifically XTR? They said, oh, no. They were like, no. We're fully committed to that, and there will be more tools in the Cobalt line and in the XTR, upgrade to that. So rest assured, if you're in that line, you're not going to be left sitting on the side. Let's see here. Don't forget, by the way, if you type in @DenTools just like that, it shows up just like that on my screen, and that lets me know that you're talking to me, and we read all those comments. Patrick Kelly's up. Hey, man, how goes it? No Bear tonight, as I said. He's taking the evening off. Is the East Wing ball peen hammer on sale online? I thought it was an online. I don't remember. Anyway, I'd have to go back and look. There's a lot been going on lately. Was that the chat bot? Nice. I picked up the blower. Nice. Let's see here. Philly says the swag game is strong with Shervon. The Super Jamster says Flex is going to be a Ursa Minor or a Ursa Major. Yeah, it's going to, here's the one thing we got to realize. We're going to see a great event tonight. Of course, they're not going to be demonstrating their tools in such a manner where they're going to perform badly. That's just not going to happen, okay? So you gotta realize that. We're going to see the best of what they can do. I'm supposed to wait until after the end of the show. I think they're great tools. I think they're fantastic tools. I am duly impressed with the high power impact driver they sent. Multiple speeds, all that good stuff. And the batteries on them, they're big batteries. They got a lot of juice in them. They're fantastic. Are they going to beat Milwaukee? I think that's only time will tell kind of thing. Even if a tool beats certain specs, at the end of the day, it's how well does that tool last over the years? How well does the company stand behind the service? Now, thing is, Flex isn't a new company. It's Shervon. They've been making pro-grade tools in the U.S. for years, because you got to remember, they own Skillsaw. So, they've been doing this for a while. Trolling for dollars said I picked up a Ryobi grinder, 2 free batteries. Nice find. Mike says, hey, y'all, listening in while working on ball joints on my Dodge. That sounds like fun. Chatbot says, I picked up the Ryobi stuff too. Just call me Linda. Okay, Linda. And Brian says, what's up, Joseph? Let's hear your opinion soon. Greg says, hey, Jeff, greetings from Omaha. Oh, I was just thinking about Omaha the other day. I miss Omaha. Gerard says, hello from upstate New York. Digital demonic Australian sex for choice. We don't get Cobalt or Flex, even though we get TTI, Bosch, Hikoki. But you guys got the Makita 40 volt before anybody else. How's the heat in Vegas? This week it's good. It's in, the mid-70s?
Yeah, like 76.
When the sun's out, it's still a desert sun, but it warms you up. But it's not overwhelmingly oppressive. Last week was bad. The week before that was terrible. I'm guessing next week it's probably going to be back to terrible. Spring here lasts about 2.5 hours. So, Mark says, at least all the batteries will be very fresh. Yes, they will. And Trillion for Dollars says, any word on the cells used for the Flex batteries? No, I'm waiting until I finish doing all my testing, and then I'm going to tear these things apart. We're going to go into the impact and tear apart the all three batteries, the 2.5, the 5, and the 8. This is the big boy, the 8 amp hour, I think. Yep. And we're going to be tearing that apart, seeing what's in there. Is it 21700s, I think, is the cell I think that's in that. I don't know the brand. Let's see here, what else? And I may be trying to do the recip. Taking apart a recip is easy. Putting it back together is not always as easy. The other stuff is fairly easy to deal with. Did you get your paws on a Flex drill driver, hammer, or impact? I did not. No, I did not get any of those, Anthony. They were supposed to have sent me a drill driver, and apparently it got damaged in shipping. So they sent me a gift card to buy one when they come out. So, let's see here. John says, would you buy it if they didn't send it to you? That's a good question, and here's how I'm going to answer that. The quick answer is no, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. I'm retired. I'm not actively in the trades anymore. I did 10 years as a carpenter, 5 years doing, back then we called it IT work, but it was, low voltage wire runs, building out server rooms, wire racks, basically taking old infrastructure and updating it. So I used a lot of impacts. I used a lot of drills. I used, recips. We had to often cut out rebar and stuff like that to run, you'd go into basements. I always want to put these things in basements, and you got to run these big, cable bundles out to everything through there, and you got to cut right through that concrete. So back then, if I was still in that situation, I would consider these. And the only reason I'm not saying I would jump in and buy it is because I'm 100% honest, and it's a brand new tool line, and I'm the kind of person who would usually let somebody else go, okay, you do the bleeding edge kind of thing. Okay, that's not entirely true. There's sometimes I geek out and I want to buy something when it first comes out. Maybe I would, maybe I would. But I would definitely consider them to be in that pro level. If I was a pro, I would definitely consider them. If I'm a amateur who wants to use pro level tools because I've got the budget to afford it and I like working with better quality tools, yeah, I would not hesitate to buy these. But am I going to buy them for myself? If I wasn't doing this, I do tool testing for a living right now. If I wasn't doing this, I don't think I would. The Cobalt line is just fine, and I've said time and time again that it's one of the best buys in the market is the Cobalt power tool line. 24 volt, heavy duty tools, all brushless, 5-year warranty, and at an affordable price point where you're getting, often, I refer to it as prosumer, they call it value pro. So anyway, any word, we talked about the cells. I can't believe I'm excited over Tool Watch Party. Eating barbecue chicken wings for the special occasion. That sounds pretty tasty. I had some awesome teriyaki wings the other day. We're down in Boulder City. Those things were amazing. Axe 3 Crafter, do you like Ryobi? I think Ryobi is decent for... Do you mind over there?
I can't help it.
Ryobi is decent for DIY stuff. I know pros who use the Ryobi, okay? Our next door neighbor up in Montana, his dad is a professional high-end cabinet installer for jewelry. You're shaking the whole table there.
It's the pads. It's the pads.
Anyway, he's a high-end cabinet installer. He uses Ryobi stuff. I've met a ton of guys at SEMA a couple years ago. These are guys who build $1 million cars. They use Ryobi. The general consensus is if you don't trash your tools, and you don't leave them out and you don't abuse them, they last just as long as anything else. Sean's repairs and reviews. My main reason for buying Ryobi is it's cheap and the new stuff is decent. And there's a huge line, and they don't change the batteries. There's a lot of compelling reasons for Ryobi. Don't tell Chaka I said that. John Gonzalez says, at least Flex didn't make you sign an NDA. I didn't, and I won't, people. I don't sign NDAs. And I'll tell you why. Because I used to do professionally, when after I did my contractor years and was, working with my hands and stuff, I transitioned into management. And I got really good at contract negotiations. And I know how much risk there is in signing an NDA, and I won't do it. So they asked me politely, said, please, hold your opinions. I'm like, okay, verbal agreement, I can do that. I'm not going to sign an NDA though. And to be fair, they didn't ask. There are a lot. I get companies who approach me are like, you've never heard of them before. They've got one drill on Amazon, and they're like, we need you to sign a contract for this, we need you to do that, we need you to do that. Then you get companies like, Harbor Freight and Stanley Black & Decker and Chevron. They're kind of like, here, take our tools, test them, do whatever you want with them. We don't care. It's like amateur hour dealing with those Amazon sellers. Linda says, I lived in the desert of Cali for more than 20 years. There is 1 minute of spring there. I lived in the Central Valley up near Modesto for, I think it was about 5 years. It was a lot like that there as well. All right, we got 17 minutes till showtime here. So when the show starts, we're going to be reversing these windows. You're going to get the full audio and everything else through from the face-off there on here. And then we'll full screen it for the big, when they're doing the demos and everything. Jeff, what are the names of your other YouTube channels? Right now, the only other one I'm doing is The Bear's Den, and I have not been putting out a lot of content over there, and I apologize. He does some gaming stuff on Mad Bad Bear. Bradley says, any news on the new DeWalt 60-volt trimmer attachment compatible to... I have not seen anything on that. Digital says, because of you, I have a 212-piece TTI tool chest and 4-piece Ryobi 18-volt cordless set. Your recommends are the best. Thank you, sir. We try our best. And Philly says, structured cabling. That's right. You and RCDD. You were the guys giving us the blueprints we read and went, this is screwed up. We're not doing that.
Ice.
Sure, I would love some ice.
Craft services.
I would say craft services has arrived. Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
The den says hi, by the way.
Hi.
We miss you.
Loud. I'm listening from the other room.
Okay.
Do you guys need anything else?
Or spoon for this.
Goofball.
Alrighty. Philly said, I do the plans and specs you used to hate, as I just said. Alexander says, how do you think Flex will be able to snag customers away from the current brands and battery ecosystem? I'll tell you exactly why. First of all, so DeWalt is everywhere, but a lot of people are really tired of DeWalt. Okay, their batteries are overpriced and they underdeliver. The only thing, they have 3 tiers of of products. They have the brushed, the brushless, and then the XR, which is just like Milwaukee's brushed, brushless, and fuel. Except all the Milwaukee stuff is good. Only the XR stuff, in my opinion, is good that's worth the money. All right? I'm not saying it's terrible. Okay, some of the brush stuff is kind of terrible. But only the XR is worth the money. And the batteries that they give you, especially when you buy a combo kit, are junk in most cases. So they're going to get a lot of people who are looking at this, people who don't want to go with Milwaukee. Some people just don't like shopping at Home Depot. All right? And Milwaukee's only at Home Depot. So... who's trying to blow up my phone? Hold on.
Dad, don't do it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Jeff?
Yes, it is.
This is Jay from the Summerlin Home Depot, and unfortunately we ran out of the steel grinding blade.
Oh, you're joking. So you're out of the blade and out of the grinder discs?
Yeah, well, we have three of them. We have the 4.5 80 grit. We have the 4.5 and 27 hub, and then we also have the 4.5 and then 7 by 8 inches metal.
All right, never mind. Just cancel the order, can you?
Yeah, I will. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one. Bye.
That was Home Depot, and they took my order, said they had stuff in stock. Now they just called and told me that half the stuff I ordered is in stock. I'm like, cancel the order. I'm not going to go to over here and over here and over here. Oh my gosh. Again, people don't like shopping at Home Depot. And I said today, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to Home Depot. The Home Depot around here is, all of them. I hate going to them. But anyway, so some people hate going to Home Depot. They'll go to Lowe's. You know, some people like shopping there better. Some people have been burned by Milwaukee. Some people have been burned by DeWalt. I don't think they're going to have a trouble attracting interest. And then now they're offering lifetime warranty on the tools. You got to put that one down. We're not supposed to show that one. But they're offering lifetime warranties for anybody who buys this year. That's a pretty good incentive to try it. That's going to get people into it. And then if they like the tools, they like the service, word of mouth, videos, all the other stuff, that's going to drive people to be like, maybe I should try Flex. Let's see here. Jerry says, appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much, sir. That's just the way I roll. I'm all about... Honestly, I'm one of these guys who gives you too much information probably, because I just want to be the guy who collects the stuff and then hands it off to you and goes, okay, you figure it out. I don't like saying, this is what you need to buy. There's a lot of channels that love to say that. This is the best. You got to buy this. I'm like, here's the information. Here's the facts. You decide what fits your budget, your lifestyle, your jobs, your needs. Ricky says, bro, are those Harbor Freight mechanics? Huh? I don't know. John says, that drill makes him look small. Is he a weightlifter? He's been sitting over there with his drill. I got to tell you, one of the things we've been trying to do is drain the batteries on these things.
I did it for like a whole day. Didn't work.
On a 5 amp hour battery, trying to drain the battery so that we could test the recharge times. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got 11 minutes till start. Let me zip through some of these. Have you seen the new Torque Test channel? I have called them out in the live stream yesterday. It's a great channel. Torque Test channel. Check them out if you get a chance. Thanks for doing the live stream earlier, Tool Nerd. Not a problem, man. Loved it. Wish I could have stayed longer and stuff. Tommy Sausage says, are we going to talk about this Grizzly contractor bundle? A kid. Yeah, that thing went quick, didn't it? Great channel, brother. The FB page is awesome as well. Never realized many tools I needed because of sales. John says, most of the tech companies require NDAs. Yeah, now I did work in tech, and oh my gosh, we had to sign one contract with Electronic Arts.
Oh, they steal your money.
Yeah. They would not let us read the contract before we agreed to it. But when you're looking at we're going to pay you $150 million, you're like, it's a lot of money. Do you think Flex will have corded tools? I don't know if they're gonna emphasize. I think at some point they will. I don't think they're gonna emphasize that at start because you're looking at giant cordless kind of stuff. I think that's what they're gonna push. Mike says, I'm not experienced in the other brands yet on cordless, but with my Herc tools, I'm amazed how tough they are from being dropped. It's one of the benefits of brushed technology. That's the other thing. All of these things, they have sensorless brushless technology. One of the problems with brushless is you have to have these delicate sensors in there. And if you drop it, you hit it too hard, you can kill the motor. And it's just dead. So that makes these simpler and more rugged. $12 is off topic. What are your thoughts on impact drivers compared to drills and impact wrenches? I don't know, but too many people try to use impact driver as an impact wrench, and too many people use impact drivers for jobs that don't require them. There's just too much power, and they often overdrive screws and strip stuff and whatnot. Philly says, exactly, your types change order me all the time. My types? What? Oh, let's see here. Try to scroll through. Axe 3 says, any news on the Warrior recip saw? Haven't seen it yet. All we got was the leak on that, so hopefully it's going to be coming soon. Donovan says, Cobalt XTR is my brand for now. I could change to Flex soon. I wouldn't change to Flex unless you're just a tool geek who likes new stuff, or you really, really need the higher power kind of stuff. The Cobalt line is fantastic. I know pros who use it daily in half-inch impact wrenches in the drive or in the bays, working on cars all day long. I think they'll do fine. Dennis says Project Farm did a test between a made in Japan and made in China Makita. The Japanese was significantly better after tearing them down, also better made. Yeah, here's the thing. China can make good stuff, all right? They make MiGs that go Mach, 2, 3?
I don't know.
They could put people in space. They build giant dams. They've got tech. So don't be fooled that China can't make this. They just choose not to. They're doing it on the cheap, and that's why people send their manufacturing there is to get cheaply made stuff. Nathan says, love the viz. Let's go, Flex, baby. We got 7 minutes here. Do you know where Flex manufacturing is located? I don't know what city, but I'm assuming it's in China. The design, my understanding is the design came out of the U.S. and Germany, and the manufacturing is currently in China. I don't know. I thought I heard at some point that some of the parts were being made in Germany. I could be wrong on that. I asked them point blank, will any of the manufacturing ever come to the U.S.? Because here's what I know. When they took over Flex in Germany, they kept the manufacturing in Germany. They have this motto of, you should build the tools where they're being sold. That's about all I can say. Why are you wearing your human suit? It's really hot, isn't it? Do you think Tekton hand tools are good enough for professional workplace and will last in that everyday use environment? I don't think I know. I know they will. I know a ton of guys who use Tekton tools. I know even Justin Dow, who swore he hated Tekton, has now been like, all right, Tekton's pretty good. They got some good stuff. Tekton makes fantastic tools. I've got the stack system behind me is filled with, I got Tekton sockets, Tekton ratchets, and I think I got a Tekton breaker bar also. Steven's in the house. Steven says, I know we have very similar Moto phones. Can I see the case? It looks like the one I got for mine. My case is this one. I got this one because it's fairly ruggedized and because this part is metal and I use one of those magnetic phone holders so I can just right on the dash and when I get in the car. Jared says, our local Lowe's is better than the local HD. Sean says, it's awesome that you're doing the event tonight. I wonder how often a line like this will be introduced in our lifetime. There's new lines that come out here and there, but a brand new professional grade line done by a company that has a professional track record, both in the U.S. and abroad, that's not something you ever see. That I think that is a once in a lifetime kind of event. Okay, we got 5 minutes here. BMC says, if the Cobalt line is not going away, why is Flex producing a prosumer version of the tools? Why are they doing a lower value of the tools? Because some people may not need, like there's guys who are like, I use a circ saw every day. That's my go-to tool. I sometimes need a drill, but I don't need a top of the line drill. Okay. I may need an impact, but I don't need a top of the line impact. So sometimes they like to offer in the lower grade tools. Yeah, I asked them specifically about that because it's like, why bother if you're doing this? And that's the reason, is because they're going to have two lines. So unlike, DeWalt and Milwaukee, who have 3 grades in their tools, Flex is only going to have 2. They're going to have the brushless and the brushless turbo, I guess you'll call it, or something, the higher tier ones. That turbo thing is my words, not theirs. Lifetime for Flex. Lifetime warranty if you buy it in the first year. Name your top 3 20 volt plus range. Top 20 volt plus. So Makita, I'm a huge fan of Makita. I've been a Makita fanboy. When I started as a contractor or doing construction way back when, Makita, I had the Makita drill, Makita Circ Saw and a Milwaukee Sawzall. And I've always loved Makita. So Makita is one of my favorites. Cobalt is one of my favorites. And honestly, my other favorites are like the 12 volt, like the M12 line and the new Skill 12 volt line. I know, not 20 volts, but, you know, it's in my favorites. Anthony says, I'm going to outdoor hardware supply more now that they carry Milwaukee, DeWalt, Skill, and Makita. And you're in and out there easy, just small. I love shops like that. I like to be able to get in, get what I'm a typical guy. You know, I'm not like a woman. I want to go in. Not all women are like that, but, you know, my wife, I'm going to look over here, and then I'm going to look over here. I'm going to look over there. For me, it's a military operation. We're going in, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. We're going to check out, we're going to leave. Done. I don't want to be in there any longer than I have to. The Dean says, in my area, staff at Home Depot are super nice, but Home Depot is just unorganized compared to Lowe's, at least in my area.
It's just boring. They have no displays.
Clint says, Jeff, I hope Chevron continues to offer more with the Skill 12 volt and 20 volt line. Ooh, and red and shiny. I asked them, they said, yes, they're going to be expanding the line. They couldn't tell me how much, but they are planning to make it big. They are aiming Skill directly at Ryobi. All right? They want to take on the upper tier Ryobi stuff. Trolling for $1 says, if Lowe's is going to be the only brick and mortar, Flex plans for online sales. There is a industry distributor, and I can't remember who it was. They said that, but there's one industry distributor who will be offering online sales. So you will start seeing these show up in other online platforms, but you're not going to see them, you know, probably on Amazon and stuff like that. What do we got here? We got 2 minutes here. 2 minutes till the start. We'll see how this goes. Let's change this over here. Boom, we get ready here.
60
Premiere in
seconds.
60 seconds. Daryl says, am I the only person that wants a pack-out system? I said they sell one. The Flex European version has one. I was hoping it would make the trip over the pond. It didn't. Adam says, CM says, hey, Jeff, any legal reason why the competition tools are spray-painted over? They just don't want to promote other brands. That's all it is. Greg says, I live near 4 or so Menards. I wish we had Menards out here. I love going to Menards. Fry Guy says, how can you agree to something you can't read? It's like that. That's what I said. They're like, well, sorry. That's the way it goes. Hope Chevron tries their modular storage solution. Like to see it. John says, I really like the way they look. Fry says, what's up, Bear Crew? Rick says, Flex might be good, but not replace our Milwaukee or DeWalt. Let's just enjoy the show. What do we got here? It's premiering shortly now. It did say 60 seconds, right?
Yeah, so it must be like...
Any moment now.
seconds.
If you don't hear the audio, let me know, because it's kind of a tricky situation trying to set this up. Is Flex Germany still making corded tools and grinders? I believe they are. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get a chance. What are your thoughts on Masterforce? Masterforce is made by Chevron, the same company that makes this. What's your opinion on Bosch tools? I like Bosch. I just don't think they care much about the retail market here in the U.S. We got 2 minutes. All right. And we got the audio on it. Let me take that audio level down a little bit. I'll tell you what. We'll just mute their audio. We don't need that. In fact, you could probably hear it from my side, can't you? There. All right, Jeff, are you planning on testing the inline circ saw? I didn't get the inline circ saw. I got the regular circ saw. And I'll be honest, I was expecting this to be considered the cheaper version to the inline. The inline is $50 less than this. So this must be their more robust, and the inline is like it's the swervy and curvy kind of stuff where it's lightweight, easy to carry, that kind of stuff. I do want to try it out. I really do, because I love the idea of being able to move easily to either side of the saw. Although this has some really good, line of sight through it. So you can't come from here, you can come from over there. 40 seconds. Do you know the name of the U.S. Flex channel? I do.
Yes, it's Flex Tool North America.
Thank you. Flex Tool North America. Jessie says she knows where I sleep. Don't tell her how much I'm planning to spend on that car.
Oh, my bad. It's Flex Power Tools North America.
Where are you seeing that?
Right here.
Oh. They say they're queued up and they're ready to go.
Up 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1.
The time is now. The brand is Flex, and Flex,
see what they got to
it's what's
say.
next. Welcome to the Flex Face-Off. I'm Barnaby, and I'm excited to be with you here today to share the story of Flex and how this future-focused brand is positively going to be the next leader in the professional power tool industry. Flex, it's a company whose legacy of innovation and performance stretches back many a decade, and yet you may not have ever heard of Flex. So, to tell us more about the history of Flex and the mission that drives the company forward, I'd like to introduce you to CEO Mike Clancy and CMO Joe Turoff. How you guys doing?
Barnaby, how are you?
Barnaby. It's amazing what people are going to see here today. It's going to change the way they think about work on the job site. Right?
Hey, I'm stoked about today. Today is the day that we finally get to introduce the new Flex. Flex was founded in 1922, almost 100 years ago in Stuttgart, Germany. You know, every great power tool name can trace their roots back to a first. 100 years ago, we changed the world of tools with our very first invention, the flexible shaft grinder. And then we followed that up in 1954 with the introduction of the world's first angle grinder. Since then, Flex has been focused on high-quality finishing tools, grinders, sanders, polishers, and cutters for stone, concrete, and metal. Some of the most demanding applications for any power tool. Our mission today is clear: design and develop the most innovative tools made for the trades.
So, Flex does have a long, rich history of making professional-grade tools for the trades. But you know, Joe, we're in the here and now. What is going to make Flex the standout tool on the job site of today?
Well, Barnaby, as you know, we were one of the world's first to make professional-grade power tools driven by advanced lithium-ion battery technology, and did it over 15 years ago. And I'm thrilled to announce that this May, Flex will launch a complete platform leveraging our state-of-the-art 24-volt lithium-ion battery technology exclusively at Lowe's.
All right, Joe, so let's talk about it. What makes Flex a better choice for the pro? And in answering that question, let's make some hard comparisons to the common tools that are found on the job site of today.
So it's all about the system. And our new 24-volt platform delivers 20% more power than the typical Pro 18-volt platform. We also last 25% longer.
So what I'm hearing from you guys is this isn't incremental improvement. This is disruptive technology. So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. First, let's talk Power IQ. It's the brains in our batteries and motor, and it's unlike any other. Lithium-ion is what we do and what we're known for, and this system has been optimized for the most extreme applications, the most extreme scenarios. Second, our patented Thermatech technology keeps our batteries working when all other brands quit. And Thermatech draws the heat away from the cells, allowing Flex packs to stay cool where others will overheat. And third, our new Flex platform features our state-of-the-art sensor-free brushless motors, delivering the absolute best in power, durability, and control.
So Joe, what I'm hearing is you've taken out all of the stuff, the sensor, that might normally break in a brushless motor, making it more bulletproof, and the pro has got to love that.
Exactly. Our tool and batteries are filled with sensors, but where they need to be, not where we put them 10 years ago. This new design allows us to build a tool that's either more compact or more powerful. And in either case, the result is a tool that's more durable and much easier to control.
With all that power, I'm sure you guys have thought about the end user because they are holding on to the tiger by the tail now, right? Extra power. Let's talk about the user interface. How is Flex different there?
Many of our tools feature Shock Shield anti-vibration technology. Shock Shield isolates and diffuses much of the tool's vibration so the pros can use them comfortably all day long.
So I can hear the pros' wheels turning in their heads saying, yeah, all day long, that is if the battery lasts and I can charge them quickly. So we've established it's a super long-running battery, but what about the quickness of the charger, Joe?
So our chargers are just as advanced as the tool, the motor, and the battery platform. And thanks to a dual fan, yes, 2 fans, along with Charge IQ, we're able to recharge up to 50% faster than the top competitor and do it safely without impact to the life of the battery.
So what you guys are both telling me is this is more than incremental industry improvement. It is true disruption. With the introduction of this Flex line of tools, you're changing the way pros are going to think about battery-powered tools. And honestly, having personally interviewed more than 3,000 job site pros, I know that more than anything else, they want unrelenting power that's going to last them the whole day. And moreover, they want performance and tools that will get the job done fast and efficiently. And because of that bottom line, they want tools that are going to last for years and years.
Exactly, and you'll get all that and more with Flex. Our standard warranty is already the best in class. 5 years end-to-end on tools, batteries, and chargers. But we want to reward those who trust us in this early journey of the new Flex. We'll back our words with a warranty you can trust. We're offering a Flex Founders lifetime warranty with registration. That's right, a lifetime warranty on all Flex 24-volt tools, chargers, and batteries purchased now through December 31st, 2021. So by adopting early, you get unparalleled protection.
And you know, that is a question always asked on the job site or in the aisles. What's the warranty, right? And when you can proudly say, I got the lifetime warranty, they're gonna go, what? How did you do that? I was an early adopter. You know, it's clear that Flex hasn't been around 100 years by following the pack. A 5-year end-to-end warranty on tools, batteries, and chargers. This speaks volumes to the confidence that you guys have in the materials, the engineering, the technology, the power of Flex tools. But enough talk. How about some tool testing action by the very pros they're going to be buying and using Flex? You guys up for it?
We'll leave it to you, but before we go, I just want to say that today is the beginning of an exciting new chapter here at Flex. We'll continue to roll out tool after tool, innovation after innovation. This platform will grow to over 100 tools very quickly, and that's something you guys won't want to miss.
Up next, the face-off. Flex versus the competition.
My name is Lowe, and I am a carpenter by trade, and I've been working in carpentry professionally for over 15 years. Now, unprofessionally, through apprenticeship of your fathers and grandfathers, I've been doing that my entire life. I'm very, if you could say, pleased to know that Flex is seeking out professionals to do these tests, because you have to have a knowledge of how the tool is truly to work, not just what someone says, but through experience.
My name's Jesse Favela. I'm a commercial carpenter. Been doing commercial carpentry for about 10 to 11 years. As a professional, the tools I rely on the most, definitely the circular saw, my impact driver, and my grinder.
Using Flex tools for a while, something that stands out about the tools is definitely the battery life.
So another day on the job site. What are you gonna do? Probably make a lot of holes, right? Whether it's pushing utilities through or making holes for HVAC, you gotta reach for the drill driver, but which one? I gotta tell you, the Flex 24-volt, half-inch, 2-speed drill driver is gonna impress you beyond belief because it's got best-in-class torque and speed. Let's break it down for you. Torque, which is the muscle of the moment, right? An impressive 750 inch-pounds of torque. And at 2,200 RPMs in speed too, not only are you gonna get into the material, but right out the other side, real quick. We gotta ask the pros, right? What is it when it comes to a drill driver are you looking for, Luan?
Well, I really appreciate a tool that doesn't fight you. When you got one foot on a ladder wrong, the last thing that you want is to be doing more work than the tool.
So you want to pull the trigger and just let the tool do the work.
And let it take care of it.
Yeah, what about you, Jesse?
Like you said, power and speed.
Okay, because time is money, right?
Right.
When you pick up the tool, you want to say, come on, you can do it. It's just like, let's do it, right?
Less amount of effort, the better.
All right, now it's time for the Flex face-off. We're gonna be loading up a 1-inch spade bit and driving it through a king stud. Man, that wasn't even close, huh?
Not even close.
All right, Jesse, tell me about your experience with the Flex 24 volt.
It's smooth. You really feel the power once the bit grabs the wood. You can feel the drill power its way through, and it's quick.
That's what you were looking for when we talked about what's important with a drill driver for you, right? It's got to be smooth, got to be able to get the job done.
Yep.
And to drill down on the fairness of the test, I will say that, Luan, your tool is currently one of the most popular half-inch two-speed drill drivers on the job site, beaten handily by the Flex 24 volt half-inch two-speed. Drill bits, 1-inch spade, exactly the same. And if you thought that was impressive on the part of Flex, wait until you see our turbo version of that drill.
Now, I've been using these new Flex tools for about 2 weeks, and they truly are a night and day difference. The motors feel like cutting butter. I truly am excited to now just sit down and do one-on-one, head-to-head.
You never know really what you're gonna face when you show up on the job site. You could be drilling holes for anchors all day long, or suddenly you gotta be punching holes in steel, and there is no drill that has more speed or torque than the Flex half-inch two-speed drill driver with turbo. Thanks to the high-power sensor-free brushless motor, it's gonna give you an industry-leading 1,400 inch-pounds of torque at 2,500 RPMs. And when the accessory hits something that's not gonna give, it has anti-kickback technology. Okay, the test today is we're gonna be loading these drills up with an 18-inch long, 1.5-inch bore auger. Long bit, right? Pushing it into cedar. We put a piece of white tape at the very end of the tool right here, and when you bury that white tape, you're the winner. So, let's see how it all goes. That wasn't even a fair fight, was it? Tell me about the experience, Luan. How did it feel?
It really felt like it was pulling the drill through. It's a lot of power, a lot of torque, and it works with you.
Right, and you said it was important to you that the drill does the work.
It
that
does
you're
the
not
work for you.
just the one doing all the work. The tool's supposed to do it, right?
Indeed, that's what you have the tool for.
All righty. And so just for fairness of fight here, both working off 5 amp hour batteries, both in speed 1, which is the high torque speed, but the Flex 24 volt turbo has the advantage of turbo. By simply pressing that button, you get 25% more speed at the same torque. And so if you're making money on the job site, which tool do you choose?
Oh, I'm gonna grab this Flex.
So let's see how the tool performed in real world circumstances out on the job site.
Hello, this is Travis Collins, Tools by Design on social media, Instagram and YouTube mainly. And what we have here is the new Flex lineup. This is awesome. I've got a handful of the tools I've been using a month now. This is the Flex 24 volt turbo brushless drill driver, available in hammer drill as well. On turbo mode, you're gonna get 2,500 RPMs with 1,400 inch-pounds of torque. That is just massively impressive. You can just hear it. So we can just go ahead and all the power you need to just blast through those holes, and that was in turbo mode. on speed too. Now, the chuck, Jacobs all-metal chuck, carbide jaws. We can throw in even a big 2 9/16 pull bore. It's just too easy, and of course, if you get that kickback, the drill automatically stops to save you. Pretty awesome. All the power you need right there.
Hammer drills. What are you looking for in a hammer drill, Luan?
Oh, impact and speed is everything. Because when I show up on a job site, I'm not there to anchor one thing. I'm anchoring 50, and I need to get in and get it done.
How about you, Jesse?
Like Luan said, speed is everything, but you want a drill that's gonna power through the aggregate when you get to that point.
Getting the job done. All right, well, let's talk about it. The Flex 24-volt, half-inch, 2-speed hammer drill has got all that and more. It dominates in 3 crucial areas. We're talking power, speed, and size. Again, the high-power, sensor-free, brushless motor provides 750 inch-pounds of torque, 2,200 RPMs in speed, too, 35,200 impacts per minute in hammer mode, making it one of the fastest and most powerful hammer drills in the market. So the test today on the Flex Face-Off is going to be a 1/4-inch masonry bit into a cinder block with Portland cement. The way it's going to go is light the tool up, bury the bit into the block, pull it out, pound the drill down onto the table. Winner takes all. Well, that really tells a story about the power of Flex, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, tell me about the experience using the tool.
Well, you can really feel those impacts. I mean, you can hear it scream. And when I got to anchor 40, 50 things into some concrete, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's your job day in and day out.
Yeah,
you don't want it to take forever, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so let's talk about the parameters of the face-off, right? So we did use the exact same bits. We're talking 1/4-inch masonry bits into cinder block filled with Portland cement. And the clear winner was?
Flex.
By far, right?
Indeed.
All right, now if you thought that was a good demonstration of power and performance, let's put the tool that you were using, Jesse, once again, one of the most popular tools on the job site today, up against the Flex top-of-the-line turbo hammer drill. What we have here is the Flex half-inch, 2-speed hammer drill with turbo. With the turbo button, a simple press of that button gives you 25% more speed at the same torque. Turbo mode, 2,500 RPMs, 40,000 impacts per minute, and industry-leading torque at 1,400 inch-pounds. And when you have all that power in your hand and you're putting it into masonry, it's got anti-kickback technology that stops the drill fast when the accessory stalls so you can work with confidence. So the Flex Face-Off, here's the parameter. We're loading it up with a 3/8-inch masonry bit into a cinder block with Portland cement. That's what's filling it. The plan is to bury the bit and then pull it out, drill down on the table, winner. Tell me about that fight. How'd it go for you?
Smooth. You really feel the drill doing the work. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it.
Hands down, a clear winner.
Hands down, yeah.
That's got to be the 40,000 impacts per minute. You got the turbo, obviously. Just the fastest, most powerful hammer drill on the market.
You could definitely feel the power in it.
Clear winner?
Clear winner. Didn't stand a chance.
Let's check in with the guys at ProTool Reviews. They're kind of tool scientists to see what they think about it.
I'm Kenny, and this is Clint from ProTool Reviews. We've been around since 2008 reviewing and comparing tools so that construction pros, remodelers, and even serious DIYers know which tools rise to the top.
Yeah, we use a combination of scientific and real-world testing to kind of give you an idea of where each tool fits in the landscape of options that you've got as a consumer.
If there's one tool we've handled the most, it's got to be the cordless hammer drill. When the Flex 24-volt model showed up at the ProTool Reviews shop, we jumped right in and got to work. We were immediately impressed with its speed.
Most drills top out around 2,000 or 2,100 RPM, but Flex does something unusual. It's got a turbo mode. That's a performance boost that you engage with a button at the base of the tool. In high speed, our tachometer showed it taking the Flex from 2,000 RPM to around 2,560 RPM. It also works with low gear, bumping the speed from 575 RPM to around 725.
It's not all about speed, though. There's plenty of muscle to back it up, 1,400 inch-pounds worth, and that makes it one of the strongest hammer drills available. Now, we wouldn't say that unless we had actually tested it.
To do that, we wanted to see how that power translated into the real-world work of rough-ins. We chucked up a 2 9/16" self-feed bit to see what it can do in 2x4 studs. Not only did Flex chew through those holes without a problem, it did it in high gear. There isn't another drill we've run this test on that's been able to do that.
Most heavy-duty drills can complete this test, but only in low speed. Normally, you do this type of drilling with a bigger right-angle drill. But to make it even more impressive, we could drill these holes even more quickly by bumping up the drill into turbo mode.
Drilling with bits that big, that fast, comes with some risk. Using the side handle helps a lot, but it's the built-in kickback control that we're really excited to see. If the tool binds up while drilling, a sensor automatically stops the motor before it does major damage to your wrist or elbow.
Overall, we're seeing pro power, pro features, and class-leading performance in this tool. It's even more impressive when you consider it's a first-generation product.
Let's just say that all of us at ProTool Reviews are really looking forward to seeing how Flex performs on our YouTube channel during our time trial series.
Now let's go out to VCG Construction and see what they have to say.
Hey, I'm Vince, owner of VCG Construction, which is a general contractor with a focus in commercial retail construction, as well as a social media personality on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And what's so impressive about this tool, the Flex 2-speed hammer drill with turbo, is it kind of blurs the lines of a hammer drill and a rotary hammer because the performance is so good. We've used this extensively, and we've even torture tested it with 1-inch masonry bits into 5,000 PSI concrete. I was astounded. I was so impressed by the performance of the tool. And the crazy part is, it's still compact compared to the competitors. Crazy.
My name is Mike. I am the Vice President of Caldwell Plumbing, and I've been doing that for about 16 years now. In a tool, I look for reliability, power, I look for speed, accuracy, and I look for a great warranty program.
My name is Joe. I'm a framer, and I've been framing for the past 10 years. When I'm on the job site, I use a reciprocating saw, circular saw, impact drill, hammer drill, everything needed to build a house or an apartment from the ground up.
The impact driver is one of the most versatile and go-to tools on the job site. If you want to drill, if you want to drive, if you want to fasten something, you know that the tool you're going to be reaching for is the impact driver. And so let's talk to Mike about this. On your job site, what's the most common application that you use the impact driver for?
As a plumbing contractor, we suspend pipe in concrete ceilings, concrete slabs, so the impact driver allows us to hang pipe, put our hangers in, and move on and keep going.
Yeah, overhead work, you want to make sure it gets done quickly,
Absolutely.
right? You don't want to wait for it to sink. All right, the impact driver is going to get the job done, especially this bad boy right here. We're talking about the Flex 24-volt, 1/4-inch hex impact driver. 24-volt, sensor-free, brushless motor inside provides 1,800 inch-pounds of torque at 3,400 RPMs. And with all that going on, we made it in a compact design because that's what the Job Site Pro told us they wanted in the tool. So we're going to be putting the Flex against the most popular impact driver on the job site today. We're going to be driving an 8-inch self-drilling screw into a 12x12 beam. So let's see what happens. What'd you think about the power, Joe?
Amazing power.
How's it compared to what you're currently using on the job site?
It's better than everything else we have.
Better than everything you have. Let's see how our top-of-the-line, industry-leading quick eject impact driver does.
I've been using Flex tools for a month now, and what I really like about the tool, number one, is the power, along with the accuracy and the ability to use them on the move.
When you think about it, it's probably hard to remember when the impact driver wasn't the go-to tool on the job site, because it does everything, right? From drilling to driving to sinking fasteners. And so let's talk to Joe here about what part the impact driver plays in your day-to-day life as a carpenter.
I just sheeted a barn yacht last week, and sheeting a metal roof, an impact driver is very important to be with you throughout the job and get it done and not have to change batteries. So a good battery life is great.
Yeah, and boy, you know what? With the Flexes, we're going to find out it's got 50% faster charging and longer runtime than the competition. So there's an answer to your problem, right? The Flex 24-volt, quarter-inch, quick eject impact driver with multi-mode. Boy, there's a lot going on here, right? Let's break it down. Right off the bat, the quick eject. It is the industry's first patent-pending quick eject. You simply press this button, so there's going to be a time saver. As far as what's going on with the power of the drill, powerful 24-volt brushless motor puts out an industry-leading 2,500 inch-pounds of torque and 4,000 RPMs. Extraordinary impact rate, 4,450 impacts per minute. The multi-mode, this has got 3 speeds that you can dial in for maximum control. Also, the self-tapping screw mode on this, it's got a sensitivity to it that is going to save the day for you. So, the task at hand. 12-inch screw into a 12x12 cedar beam. Let's see who comes out on top. So, is there a clear winner?
Winner, winner, right here, Flex tool all the way.
Really? Decisive?
Very decisive. Went through this block of wood like butter. You know, I've been in construction for 15 years. I've never seen anything like it. I've got approximately 50 people working for me, and if I could buy 50 of these right now, I would.
I think you can, and you should. Okay, so the clear winner once again, the Flex quick eject with the multi-mode. I'm always interested to hear what Tim at Shop Tool Reviews has to say about the tool, so let's check him out.
I'm Tim Johnson with Shop Tool Reviews. We have a website, shoptoolreviews.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Shop Tool Reviews. Now, we stay mainly in the automotive and mechanics world, as well as industrial fabrication and even metalworking, but we branch out into all sorts of tools, but it's all about tools all the time. Now, when Flex gave us the impact driver, the quarter-inch impact with the quick eject, we were really curious to see what kind of power it would output. Now, we don't do the typical, driving deck screws and lag screws. That is important in many people's lives. However, we use these a little bit differently. We want to see, can it really break free some heavily torqued fasteners? So we put it on our test rig to see really how powerful it was. We started at 100 foot-pounds, went to 150, 200, all the way up to 500 foot-pounds. Now you'll see in here that we actually broke an adapter. We broke 2 adapters. One of those adapters have lasted more than 2 years. With every impact driver we have tested, it stood the test. This one broke it like at 200 foot-pounds or something, and then ended up breaking another one and then twisting the last one to break free 500 foot-pounds. Now, no other impact driver we've ever tested has broken free a 500 foot-pound torque fastener like this one. Now, we did have to put on the 5 amp hour battery because it did all that work with just a 2.5 amp hour battery. We were able to put the 5 amp hour on there, give it a little more oomph, and actually broke free that fastener. Now, the quick eject system is pretty unique in the fact you just push the button and then you can pull out the fastener and not have to worry about pulling a ring out or anything like that. We're really impressed with the power that this thing's putting out. Back to you, Barnaby.
Let's check in with the guys at ProTool Reviews.
We love testing impact drivers at ProTool Reviews, mostly because of how much you can do with them, but they're also just fun to test. Flex moved directly into the top tier of cordless impact drivers with its premium 24-volt brushless model.
And they've also made some pretty innovative moves. For example, right below the quarter-inch hex collet, you've got this little button. It's the quick eject button. Instead of pulling out the collet to install or release your bit, just push the button. You never have to move your hand or set the tool down. It's pretty cool, right?
There's also some eye-popping performance built in. Topping out at 3,600 RPM, you get a monster 2,500 inch-pounds of torque. You may need some control with that much power, and Flex gives it to you with 3 standard speeds and 2 assist modes.
A high torque impact driver like this will snap 1/2-inch square adapters on our 33mm test rig all day long. But we can see how it translates that power to work by driving a series of 3/8" by 8" rugged structural screws into stacked OSB. Check out how confident this tool is driving that big of a screw.
And with the push of a button, you can take all that power and turn it into perfect control with the 2 assist modes. Designed for self-tapping screws, these can help you eliminate stripped, broken, and over-tightened fasteners.
One other thing we really like is how compact Flex made this tool. It's just 4 3/4 inches from tip to tail. One of the most compact models we've tested.
We're getting the ProTool Reviews test track set up so we can test this against the other top brands on the market. Keep your eyes on our YouTube channel for that video.
My name is Bamidele. So what does it mean that a company like Flex or Flex is offering a lifetime warranty? So a few things. Being an engineer and a former pro athlete, first precision, design, it all stands out to me. I am the worst possible customer for a company because I'm really, really critical and I'm really, really tough on tools and things because I expect a lot out of them if I'm gonna put my money into it. So when a company says, I'm gonna put a lifetime warranty on the product, my confidence level goes up because I know they're standing behind it, because I know they're putting their money where their product design is at the end of the day. So for me, if it's a product that offers a lifetime warranty versus one that doesn't, I'm looking at that product first and doing the inspection on it. And because I want to have the best in everything that I do, I want to be the best, I want to apply myself in the best way, this has to be the tool line for me.
In the workplace, there are high torque situations where you need solutions, and this is the Flex 24-volt, 1/2-inch high torque impact wrench with shock shield. So let me tell you about this tool. Amazing power, thanks to the 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. As far as the nut-busting torque, 1,150 foot-pounds. And that's a lot of energy in your hand, right? And so in order to protect you from any sort of extreme vibration, we have the shock shield vibration suppression. I can show it to you right here. You can see how the motor and the hammer, that's where all the work is getting done, all the energy is being generated. This is actually on a floating mechanism that shields you from that. But even more importantly, from an investment point of view, it shields the electronics in the battery, which is the big dollar part of the tool, right? So as far as the speed control goes, you've got 3. It's got auto mode. And the second this tool senses in auto mode that the lug is now loose, it's gonna stop. It maxes out at 2,000 RPMs. Of course you want that sort of control. All right, so how about a demo to watch the tool in action? What we're gonna be doing here is busting lug nuts off of this truck tire, and Bamidele, you're gonna be using the Flex high torque impact wrench to do it. So let's see how it goes. How was that?
Man, I can really feel the power in the tool without feeling the power from the tool. I mean, they've done a really good job at vibration isolation because when I pull the trigger, all the work goes right into the lug nut. So I don't have to worry about this thing kicking around and hitting somebody's rims and me trying to explain how my tool is so powerful that I scratched something that I shouldn't have scratched.
Right, that excuse doesn't fly.
It doesn't go over so well.
No. So there was a pronounced move as you're backing the lugs off. It was right? So you were actually, I mean, you could hear the auto in action. It was very, very considered. It wasn't just brute force, let the chips fall where they may. This was like getting the job done, but precise.
So not just the vibration isolation, it's the feedback that I'm getting from the tool.
Yeah.
It tells me when the job is done and I'm finished, so I don't make another mistake or something else with the tool. It's done. I know that without feeling all this vibration in myself to get that information from the tool itself.
Right.
That's well done.
So now you've used a lot of these wrenches, a lot of the high impact torque wrenches, right? So which one would you choose, do you think, based on the experience you've had? Others in your past or this one from the future?
I'm going with this one. They're all pretty powerful, but the vibration isolation is a really big deal, right? Because if I'm gonna have to use this 20 times a day, the more vibration I feel, the worse it's gonna be for me, the more fatigue, the more my wrist is gonna hurt. I don't feel it in this, so this has got my vote.
All right, smart choice. So we put the tool into the hands of Tim at Shop Tool Reviews. Let's see what he thinks.
Now, Flex gave us the 24-volt high torque impact wrench. When you're looking at a 1/2-inch high torque impact wrench, there's really only one thing that matters, and that's pure power. When somebody's grabbing a high torque impact, it's to break something free, typically something that's got a lot of force put on it. So we immediately put it on our test rig to see how much power it actually has. Now, we've got 2 different style fasteners on our test rig. One that goes all the way up to about 600, 700 foot-pounds. And then when we carry over to the larger fasteners, that goes up to 1,200 foot-pounds. Now, we actually had to use our torque wrench combined with a torque multiplier to be able to tighten those last 4 fasteners, and we tightened them up to 1,000 foot-pounds. The last 2 were torqued to 1,000 foot-pounds. Now, this thing breezed right through every single one of them. And I say breezed, even on the last, 900 and 1,000 foot-pounds, it only took a few seconds for it to break those free. Very impressive for a 1/2-inch impact wrench. Now, any more than that, you definitely want to be stepping up to a 3/4 or 1-inch gun. So we were definitely impressed with this. Also, with the shock shield that's built into this, you can see in our slow motion here, you can see the impacts that it's absorbing by flexing here in the tool and not translating that, number one, through your arm, through your hand, also through the electronics that are in the tool. So it's not only going to save your tool, it's also going to save that vibration from going through your arm and through your appendages. We were blown away by the performance of this impact wrench, and we can't wait to use it more. Back to you, Barnaby.
If you think about it, the Circ Saw provides a soundtrack for the job site. I mean, from a mile away, you can hear the job getting done with the blade spinning, right? Because you got to make the big wood smaller so it'll fit before you put it up. So let's talk to Joe right here. You've been a framer for how long?
10 years, roughly.
Okay, so that's probably like your just first thing you do in the morning when you get out of the truck. It's like, where's my Circ Saw, right?
That's right.
What are you using it for?
Yesterday, I was in the snow ripping a whole bunk of 1/2-inch OSB.
Really?
Yes.
What percentage of your day are you using a Circ Saw?
At least half the day.
Okay, what are you looking for in a saw?
Looking for power, something that'll get the job done, something I can depend on.
So problem solved, because we've got the Flex 6.5-inch inline circular saw. This completely redefines what a circular saw can do. It's lightweight, compact, powerful, but look at this. It's got a center blade orientation. What does that mean? It means that the motor is directly behind the blade. What does that get you? It is the world's first and only center-oriented blade where now you have a left and right sight line. So no matter which hand is your preferred hand, you can see the blade and cut a nice straight line. The power is amazing. A 24-volt, sensor-free brushless motor. Bevel capacity, 0 to 47 degrees. At 45, you can easily get through a 2x4. So to sum it up, superior visibility, balance, and control. So seeing is definitely going to be believing on this, so let's break it down. We're going to do a cross-cut through 3x lumber. We're going to go up against the most common 6.5-inch circular saw with the Flex inline circular saw, so let's get after it. What happened here? Who won?
My lumber hit the floor first by far.
Yeah, what happened to you?
Disaster. The saw blade couldn't get through, had to flip the board. The cut looks horrible.
Man, so let's talk about it. Your first time using a 6.5-inch inline saw because it's the world's first and only, right? So how was it? How did it feel in your hands?
I mean, the lightweight with the balance and the power, the combination is just incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
One clear winner, it's Flex.
How about this Flex 24-volt inline 6.5-inch circular saw? Brushless motor is in the back. It is a belt-driven design. Look how narrow and thin it is. Dust collection up here, rotated all the way around. 2 9/16 depth of cut. You've got a rafter hook folds flat. It'll just blast through. Point the dust where you need it. So you can easily cut through a 3x with the 2 9/16 depth. You can also kick it to 45 degrees and you've got an 1 9/16 depth of cut. Therefore, you can rip a 2x on a 45. I'm using a 5 amp hour battery with a bar gone, no problem at all. Been checking with the dust collection on this saw. You, of course, point it wherever you need it. Woo! Haha, that's awesome.
The circular saw might just be the first tool that any pro buys because it's the must-have saw, right? The 7 1/4 circular saw, it's been around for years, but let's talk to Joe and Mike here about your experience with circular saws and what you're looking for in the tool.
As a plumbing contractor with the circular saw, we'd be cutting blocking and plywood and things for backing for our showers, tubs, ADA accessories, things like that.
Okay, so you want to make sure you can get through the 2x material, lickety-split, right? Rip some plywood.
Time is money, absolutely.
Right, so it's all about getting the job done. That's why you show up for work every day. And so here's a great way to improve your job site experience. I'm talking about the Flex 24-volt, 7 1/4 circular saw. It's got amazing power thanks to the 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. It's gonna spin the blade at about 5,800 RPMs, cuts 3x lumber in a single pass, bevels 0 to 56. The magnesium footplate and guard make it lighter weight and super durable. As far as the runtime on it, you're gonna be able to cut about 520 2x4s on the included 8 amp hour battery, and check this out. This guy, not only will it cut a lot of lumber, but the recharge time is so fast. We're talking a 1 hour recharge time with an 8 amp hour battery. That's gonna be about 50% faster than any other circ saw out on the job site. So let's talk about a competition here, right? Because we gotta put it head to head with the most popular circ saw out on the market right now. And we're gonna talk about the Rip Cut. We're gonna go through a stack of 1/2-inch plywood, 5 deep, and may the best saw win. That sounded like money, lumber hitting the floor. So who won?
I got killed.
Did you? How bad?
I would say about 15, 20 seconds. You add that up, that's a lot of time.
Absolutely. Well, how'd it feel in your hand, man?
Oh, felt great.
Yeah, because I mean, you're a framer. You're using the 7 1/4 all day, every day. So compare it to what you use, I mean, usually versus this.
Right now, everything is corded. So feeling this power, I thought it was plugged in.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would this change your life on the job site if you had, in your words, all the power of corded, but now suddenly you're portable?
First thing is you can work everywhere without having to route a cord. It saves so much time. And cords, they get covered in mud. You roll them up, they get heavier, it gets a mess. You work, 12 months out of a year, dealing with all kinds of weather. And so do your tools and so do your cords. So taking the cords out of the equation, you're cordless. It's
right, and sometimes, I mean, you're actually tethered to a generator or to power with the cord, and so now you got a cut man down below. You got to kind of keep bringing the lumber back and forth to make sure it fits with corded. You're free to roam about the job site.
Yep, you're a one-man crew. You're good.
Wow, getting the same amount of work done.
That's right.
All right, and that's what it's all about. So we've seen Joe use the tools here. Let's see how he did with them on a job site.
Good morning. Welcome to the job site. As you can see, these are our buildings. So if you're ever in Wisconsin, see any apartments like this, most likely we built them. We do about 75 to 90 a year. Today I'd like to demonstrate the power of the Flex circular cordless saw. Got my sheets of plywood marked. I'm gonna bury it. Let's see how many sheets of plywood it goes through and how smooth the cut is. great saw. The power is unbelievable. The way it cuts through all these sheets, so smooth, no snags or hang-ups. The cut doesn't look like a wave, it's nice and straight. And the best part of all, one, two, three, four, 5 sheets of plywood. My next stack I have to go through is already scribed for me, so I can just go through and keep on ripping.
Over the last 2 years, as ProTool Reviews has tested dozens of cordless circular saws head-to-head, models are split decisively into 2 categories, standard and advanced.
Based on our early testing, Flex's first generation 7 1/4 inch brushless circular saw jumps straight into the advanced side of the group. Its cutting performance is excellent, and the tool competes with the top saws we've tested. We're gearing up to put this one on our official test track, and right now it's looking really competitive.
You can see that Flex went with a traditional blade right design that helps this tool feel very natural for anyone used to a corded sidewinder style saw. They also shaved some weight by using a magnesium blade guard and foot plate.
With circular saws, we look for a clear line of sight to the blade, and Flex did a great job of giving you good access to the cut line with an extra set of notches near the blade. Those notches are all spot on as well.
The depth of cut is worth noting as well. You can cut up to 2 5/8 inches deep. That's enough to get through a 3x in a single pass if you use that material. If you're ripping wood, that's 5 sheets of 1/2 inch plywood or 3 sheets of 3/4 inch subfloor. And it's not just capacity. No matter what material is on your plate for the day, this Flex 24-volt circular saw has the power to muscle through it.
Flex also got the ergonomics right. The main handle fits comfortably in your hand, and the front handle is just the right size to give you a secure grip without being too big.
Be sure to check back at ProToolReviews.com and our YouTube channel as we roll out this and other Flex 24-volt reviews.
A reciprocating saw is arguably one of the most useful tools on the job site because it can do both things, both destruction or construction, right? Making way for progress either way. So let's talk to the guys about how it fits into your life. So Joe, first you're a framer. When do you use a reciprocating saw?
Using a recip saw comes in handy all the time, mostly for deconstruction, but it is, cutting out door plates, fixing mistakes, which always happen. And homeowners come through the house and walk through and take a look at it. You want things to look nice, so it's a great tool for fixing mistakes. I love the recip saw.
Okay, how about you, Mike?
A recip saw is really a plumber's best friend. It's a multi-purpose tool. We use it from anything from cutting pipe, any type of pipe, to cutting our hangers, rod, etc.
All right, well, let me tell you about a game changer when it comes to recip saws, because right now, the Flex 24-volt is the industry leader, hands down. Why is that? Well, because of the power of this tool. 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor, fastest cutting saw with a 1 1/4 inch stroke at 3,000 strokes per minute. 40% less vibration due to shock shield vibration suppression. It has linear and orbital, a switch that just will delineate between both depending on the job at hand. And look at this. You know the saw blade always gets hot, and when it's worn down and ready for a new one, it just pops right out like that. Put a new blade in, assuming this guy is cool. It's a one-stop shop. So easy. And so what we're gonna do in this demo is we're gonna pit this 24-volt Flex against what is one of the most popular recip saws on the job site. And the task at hand is to cut through 2-inch black pipe with 10-pound weights suspended from each saw. Why would we do that? Because you've all used recip saws. You know a lot of times it's the user that's really dictating the speed of the cut. With this, we want to make sure it's completely neutral. So by suspending 10-pound weights from each one of the saws, the users, that's Joe and Mike, will be just kind of along to guide the tool. And so at the end of it, obviously, the best tool will win. Playing of the pipe on the floor tells me the demo's done, but who won?
Flex as usual.
Let's talk about the experience. In hand, how did it feel for you?
It was great. The vibration was way down compared to other tools, which, is nice and safe for the worker, and it also cuts through quicker.
Okay, and so you've used both corded and battery powered on the job site. How would you just kind of basically compare this to the corded tools you've used?
Same or more power than a corded tool with the convenience of being able to use a battery-operated tool and carry it around with you wherever.
What about you? How did that feel?
This is a bumpy ride. I looked over and I could see how smooth he was going, and just hearing his pipe hit the ground before mine, I just...
By a long shot. So, Flex, the winner in this demo, but we've got another one for you, and this is gonna demonstrate not the power of Flex, but something that really makes this tool so special.
Tools give off a vibe, set the tone for the day. This past 2 weeks, going cordless was actually, it was difficult because you just don't think it's there. Up until I used the Flex tools, I didn't know there was such power in a cordless tool. We spend 15 minutes at the beginning of every workday rolling out cords, 15 minutes at the end of the day rolling up cords. The time you would save in a year, do the math. My boss is gonna love it.
As promised, a demo that's gonna show you what makes the Flex 24-volt recip saw so special. We've already established in the head-to-head demo the power of this saw versus what is one of the most popular saws on the job site. But imagine this as you watch this demo. You're the person holding the tool all day, every day, making cut after cut after cut. While you watch this, I want you to think, which tool would I rather be holding on to just based on ease of use? Ready? As Joe said in the head-to-head demo, this tool here, the popular one on the job site, is a bit of a rocky road cutting through things, whereas the Flex obviously has much less vibration. So I think we can all assume and agree now that there is a new king of recip saws, and the brand is Flex.
Recip saw, compact, powerful, has features that would only be found in a much bigger footprint, in a much bigger saw. I love the idea of being able to throw this into orbital for faster, more aggressive cutting through wood. Here's another time-saving feature. Look at this. You ready? Watch closely. It's gonna happen so quick. Boom. One-touch insertion. Once that bit's released, the blade clamp stays in the open position until you insert your blade again. And these are little time-saving innovations that will compound over years of use to save you time on the job, allowing you to make more money. This is the thing maybe the guys from the neighborhood didn't realize, that if you have the right tools, if you invest in your company, in yourself, that you will be more productive, get more done, have more happy clients. Isn't that what we all want as contractors and small business owners? I know I do. How about you, Barnaby?
Let's check in with Tim at Shop Tool Reviews.
Hi, I'm Tim with Shop Tool Reviews. Now we got the 24-volt brushless recip saw from Flex in, and this thing is just a beast. It will rip through just about anything, in fact, anything we threw it at. It has a 1 1/4 inch stroke. You can have it in the straight stroke as well as in the orbit mode to easily switch that. So if you're cutting through wood, obviously you can put it in the orbit mode, and if you're wanting more of a straight cut through steel, things like that, you can have it in the straight mode as well. You also have a keyless blade change, so you can easily, with one hand, be able to eject those bits as well as install the bits as well. Just shove the blade straight in, and it's gonna automatically lock that into place. You also have an adjustable shoe with the button at the bottom. You can press that button and be able to move that shoe in and out wherever you need it to control your depth of cut. It also includes the shock shield vibration control. So when you're cutting this, a lot of times with reciprocating saws, they like to shake and drive you nuts as you're cutting something. Well, the internal mechanism in this will actually absorb a lot of that. Actually up to 40%. We cut through some LVL, we cut the fender off a truck, and it accomplished the task very easily on both of these. In addition to the stellar performance of the recip saw, you also get a rafter hook, so you can hang this, whether it be on a fender of a truck like we did, or on a rafter, ceiling joist, floor joist, what have you. You also get a trigger lock here. Now back to the face-off.
Whether you're doing something as artful as finished carpentry or something as usual as cutting a sink into a countertop, necessarily you're gonna reach for a jigsaw. And this is the Flex D-handle jigsaw. Amazing power thanks to the 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. It's got 4 speeds plus auto speed control. What that's gonna do at the press of a button is react to the pressure you're putting forward on the saw and speed the blade up to match the job you're asking it to do. And one-touch blade ejector, it is a game changer. Also a cut line blower, LED light, and the dual roller guide will support the blade for accuracy. So what we're gonna be doing here, Joe, putting that in your hands, first of all, what does it feel like to you?
Feels nice.
Feels nice, yeah, it's very ergonomic. And watch how he puts the blade in here. It's simple, just pop it right in. So what we've done is stacked up 1/2-inch plywood, and he's gonna be cutting an arch in an entryway here. So go to it and give us your reaction after the fact. Another job well done, sir. So let's talk about the experience. How did it feel in hand?
As I was making my cut, I could feel the power. It felt good. I just had a feeling with the tool that, staying on my line, it was very easy. It wasn't like bogging up or jamming at all or binding, and made it for a nice cut.
Okay, and when it does come time to change out the blade, I mentioned that there is a quick eject on this. Why don't you demonstrate this to us? Because that is such a cool feature. Boom, it's out. And then we saw how easy it was for him to put the blade in. So another problem solver. And this too is something that a guy that I know remarked upon about this. He said, I do a lot of delicate surface cutting, and this is such a bonus to have a saw that sits up without the shoe or the plate being down where it could mar. So you had a pretty hefty piece of wood that you were cutting through, right? The plywood. Let's talk about the experience.
Very smooth, very powerful. The easiest cut I've ever made with a jigsaw.
Wow. That's saying something, right?
Yeah, it is.
So there's a lot to talk about here with the Flex D-handle, but I guess at the end of the day, the way to sum it all up is, when it comes to D-handle jigsaws, Flex, it's what's next. You saw what happened with the tool here in the hands of the pros. Now let's check in with the folks at Tools in Action and see what they think.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today, we are here because of Flex. This is our first look at the new Flex 24-volt lineup. We are going to check these tools out, but we wanted to give you guys just first impressions of what we think of them right away. Jigsaw. Check out this jigsaw, Eric. A rubber overmold. I'm loving that. 4 speeds plus an automatic. What does an automatic do for you?
Basically allows you to go slow, and as it needs more power, it will ramp it up on its own.
Right, and for the professional, not only do you need power, but you need control. Why? Because that's your work. That's your craftsmanship,
that's
right?
Your game.
Yeah, if you're going in there with some jigsaw that's just all over the place, chattering, destroying things, you can't do that. You're working on a finished product. And if you damage that finished product, that's just more work for you. So far, I'm loving the Flex jigsaw.
When the time comes to reach for a jigsaw to get the job done, you have a couple choices. You can go with the D-handle, or you can go with the barrel grip. The barrel grip by Flex is going to give you better ergonomics, lower center of gravity. Some people prefer it over the D-handle, but it goes both ways, right? So let's talk about this tool right here. Super powerful, 24-volt, sensor-free, brushless motor. It's got 4 speeds plus auto speed control. By a press of a button, what it's going to do is start the blade slow, and then as you go into the wood, it's going to rise to the occasion, delivering all the speed you need depending on how hard you're pressing. 3,500 strokes per minute, that's fast. Also, one-touch blade eject. It's got a cut line blower and also LED light. So you can keep your eye on the line, and you want your cut to be perfect, so it's got dual roller guides. It's going to support the blade for that purpose. So here you go, Mike. Watch how easy it is to put the blade in. Pop, it's in, right? Okay, so what we've got here is we're going to be cutting a mantle. We scribed the line because we're imagining it's going to go up against a rock fireplace, right? So let's put it into the wood and see what your experience is like. That's a man paying attention to detail, because usually a mantelpiece is going to be a pricey piece of wood. You can't afford to make a mistake, right? So let's talk about the experience. How did it feel to you?
Well, the power was unbelievable, but also the accuracy and the low center of gravity of this really made for a nice, accurate cut. So just like you said, I mean, these mantles are expensive, so it's really tough to make a mistake and have to replace it. So this tool did the perfect job.
Okay, it was on auto speed control. Did you feel it speed up as you were leaning into it a little bit?
Absolutely. The more pressure I put on it, the more it sped up. It was kind of reading me, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think we saw, just as a matter of fact, he said, when I'm done cutting, I'm just going to get the blade out. The job is done. Quick eject. What a bonus that is, right?
Great feature.
So at the end of the day, you've got a choice when it comes to jigsaws with Flex. It could be a D handle, it could be the barrel grip, but at the end of the day, your choice is obvious. Flex is what's next. If you were to ask any tradesperson what the most versatile tool is on the job site, hands down, it's going to be the oscillating multi-tool, because there are so many things you can use it for. So let's talk to the pros about what they like and look for in an oscillating multi-tool. Mike, let's start with you.
Yeah, for me in the plumbing world, this is a great tool to notch out 2x4s to get everything ready to run pipe and walls. It'd be safe, efficient, and it would really help move things along.
Okay, how about you?
During door installation, patio installation, and windows, we use a multi-tool for cutting off the shims flush.
All righty. And when I was doing some flooring work in the kitchen, I found it to be just a marvel at cutting the jam so you can slide the tile through, made me look like a pro. So let's talk about the Flex 24-volt oscillating multi-tool. The top features on this make it, in my mind, the industry leader in so many regards. 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. It's going to give you just unbridled power. But with power comes vibration with most multi-tools, but not this as much because of the shock shield. The user is isolated in large part from the vibration of the tool. And here comes a big moment that is the wow factor for all of us, and that is that when it comes time to get rid of one blade and put another on because they get dull in the course of work, a lot of times you have to monkey around and get it off. This is a one-handed deal, right? You simply flip the lever, comes right off, put it back on, and there you go. The quick blade exchange is a game changer. And of course, it's got an LED light to illuminate the work. But enough talk. Let's talk about the demo. What we're going to be doing is installing a wood and nails blade. That's how it's going to start. And then we're going to go do a multi-tool race, cutting a notch out of wood and then flush cutting 3 nails, and then take the blade back off, putting the tool on the table, and that will be the winner. Let's see how it goes. So, our most intricate head-to-head demo thus far, a multi-step process. But who was the winner?
The Flex.
By how much?
A lot.
A long shot.
Yeah? So let's talk about it, because I imagine starting off with putting the blade on, so much easier with the Starlock Quick Eject, right?
That's very easy. Very easy, yeah.
As opposed to your experience?
I was stumbling and fumbling, just trying to get it on, tighten it, get the teeth lined up, anchor this down. It was just a total disaster from go.
Okay, and what about the power of the Flex?
The power it's there. It's not corded, cut through the wood. The nails are just as easy.
All right, and you know, because it is an oscillating, vibrating multi-tool, right? That's how the blade is actuated. How about the experience in hand? How did it feel?
Feeling it in my hand, it was not rough at all. It was smooth, little vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you?
I felt like I was all over the place. Even when I was getting to the nails, I was kind of going off track with it because of how much vibration it was.
And so, to sum it all up, I guess we could say, well, wait a minute. How come your blade is still on there? Wasn't that part of the competition that you're supposed to take the blade off?
Yeah, well, this was smoking hot, so with this feature, with this old tool, I wasn't able to take the blade off right away.
Huh. So I guess a couple truisms here to finish it up. 1, life is unfair. You got dealt a bad hand with that blade system, right? And 2, Flex is what's next.
Hey, I'm Vance, owner of VCG Construction. I've already fallen in love with the Flex Oscillating Multi-Tool. It is literally vibration-free. It's unbelievably powerful. It's got multiple speeds, and it incorporates the newest blade change technology. The fastest, most secure way to change your oscillating multi-tool blade. All these features add up to make the user more productive on the job site. And I love that. You know, I'm getting up in years, and no one wants their career cut short because of debilitating injuries. And a lot of times, when you do repetitive motions with tools that create vibration, that move up the arms and wrists and hands, you can get carpal tunnel and arthritis, stuff that's gonna take you out of the game. Tools and innovations like this are gonna make sure that you have a longer career, that you're able to provide for your family. And that means a lot to me. How about you, Barnaby?
When you're hanging drywall day in and day out, speed is key because you're getting paid by the sheet you hang, right? And the Flex 24-volt drywall screw gun with magazine is going to be a moneymaker for you. It's got a 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor, amazing speed, 4,500 RPMs. It includes a collated screw magazine attachment, also continuous power lock-on, because when you're going down the run, you don't want to be squeezing the trigger every time. It's compact design and a tool-free adjustment where, look at that, so easy to turn. So we got a guy over here, his name is Bamadelli. He's been hanging rock for many a day, and we're gonna see what he's using currently, and then also what he thinks about the Flex. What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Doing all right. So is that the tool you usually hang rock with?
This is typically what I use.
All right, so let's go through it. What do you like about it?
Well, since the advent of these guns, it stopped me from pushing screws through drywall, right? The challenge is that when you're trying to get into a corner really, really tight, you don't have much space to work with. And the tighter the gun can get to the corner, the better it is. Otherwise, I have to turn this thing at an angle, push my screw at an angle, makes it hard for the people coming behind me doing mud and tape.
Right, because one edge is proud, and then they're taping it, and they're going like, what's that dimple? Then bam, 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 when they're mudding it, and they're going, Bamadelli, get back here.
And then I'm not so proud, right? So.
There you go. So let's try this guy right here. This is Flex 24-volt.
Yeah. Much, much better. Much, much closer, and they're actually proud. So this is a lot sleeker, a lot thinner. Being able to turn it is nice because I can get flush in tight corners and weird spaces now.
Well, how would it work with the tool you're using?
Well, what you typically have to do, and we've, come to live with this, is you pull it out and then you line it up with the springs and make sure you don't hit anything and try and get this thing back in there.
Right.
Hopefully.
See, that looks easy.
I'm typically better at this.
Wow.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, just the nature of the beast, though, I'm sure, especially on the job site, there's mud, there's dust. I mean, that's got to get harder over time as opposed to easier.
If it can save me 20% on the job from doing a whole house, 2 stories, I mean, you move from job to job to job, and as you said before, speed is money when you're hanging drywall.
All righty, and I'll tell you what, if you are hanging rock and it's all about the dollar, this is a safe bet right here. We're talking about the Flex.
Be my choice.
You saw it here, so now let's see what the pros think at Kruger Construction.
Hey Barnaby, thanks for having me on here. So some of you may recognize me off of Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok as Kruger Construction. That's our construction company that we've had now for 10 years. I've been in the trades like a lot of you right out of high school. It's almost been 20 years for me now. And Flex is having me on here to talk a little bit about the experience we've had with their tools. One of the tools that we've been using a lot on site is the cordless drywall screw gun. It's got lots of power, it's lightweight, and it's quiet compared to competitors. One of the things that we noticed right off the start is how flat the top is and how much extra length you have on the nose cone. This is going to make it a lot easier to get into the corners. We get asked all the time how easy it is to take the nose cone off and put it back on. On this gun, it's been really nice. The depth change is also really nice on this gun. It's got a bright light on it, and the trigger is really nice. It's a really, really nice drywall gun to use. We've used most of them, and this is definitely one of our favorites.
that's it. That's the Flex drywall screw gun. Pretty impressive. It's smooth, it's light. I love the new batteries with the battery gauge on both sides. Adjustability, of course, 360-degree rotation. And then your depth gauge right on the side. Knurled. Everything's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Of course, you can pull it off, change it out for the regular nose cone here. But overall, so far, giving it a go. Smooth, it's very small, very narrow, as you can see. I like it a lot.
If you cut out drywall for a living, you know it's a dusty job, especially overhead when you're trying to cut in can lights. It's flying everywhere. Well, this tool right here, the Flex 24-volt brushless drywall cutout tool, is a game changer because it's got a 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. The speed is phenomenal, 28,000 RPMs. And when we talk about dust, getting it out of your face, putting it where you want it, it's got an adjustable airflow vent. It's got a 1/4 and an 1/8 inch collet. So if you're cutting different media, you can put in a different bit easily. Speaking of which, an onboard wrench. So you don't have to go fishing around your toolbox hoping to find it. And it's got an LED light. So you are in a tight space, you're seeing exactly what you're trying to cut. So let's put it to the test. Is that your tool of choice usually?
That's what I typically use.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is give you this guy, all right? Okay. And I want you to put it to work, cut out that can, and let me know how it goes. Right off the bat, I'm saying that was pretty fast.
Nice.
Yeah, tell me about the experience.
So I have big hands. And for me, I didn't notice how big this tool was until I picked that one up. How sleek and slim it is really easy to handle.
Okay, and so what about the dust? Because I mean, if you're overhead, it's a snowstorm usually coming down, right?
Look, no matter what, you're gonna get some dust on you, but I'd rather not have it blown in my face. When it covers up your glasses, even though I like to work blindfolded, you can't see anything. So if it blows it away from me, that helps me tremendously. I don't have to do this every 5 minutes. I don't have to clean it off every 5 minutes. It saves time.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm looking at your glasses here. I see no powdered sugar on there at all, right?
That's unusual.
Clean. Absolutely.
That's unusual.
Okay, well, hate to do this to you, man, but I'm gonna put this guy, well, actually keep this guy, and cut out a can with that and show me how that one goes. Compare the experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. Man, attention to detail, that's all I can say. With this tool, look, first of all, it's slimmer and sleeker. I love the fact that it's got a wrench built right into it, so I don't have to look through my toolbox every time I want to change the bit. The fact that somebody thought to blow the dust away from my face is something that I wouldn't have thought of. Now I don't have to breathe that in all day or clean my glasses 20 times when I'm putting up, cutting out 100 cans. So that's perfect for me. Again, attention to detail. The less detail I have to spend on my tool, the more attention to detail I can pay to the job.
All right, also, can I give you this tool back?
No, I'm good with this.
You're good with that. All right, well, hey, that's how it's probably gonna go on the job site once people wrap their hand around the Flex and see what it's capable of. The choice is gonna be clear. It's gonna be Flex.
Most product development companies try and give you exactly what you had before, but just a little bit better. It's rare these days when you find a technology that can give you something that you wouldn't expect to get in that technology, and you surely wouldn't expect that from a power tool company. Whether it is the bidirectional fan that blows, dust away from your face, or this superior vibration dampening technology that's being used, or what seems to be a step change in the use of power technology here, I wouldn't have expected that from a power tool company.
There comes a time in every pro tradesman's life where they're going to be doing some cutting, some grinding, some surfacing, or polishing. And in order to get that job done, necessarily you got to reach for the angle grinder, right? So let's talk to the pros about their experience with the angle grinder. Start with you, Joe. As a framer, I know I used to be a concrete guy, and you guys followed us to the job site. You probably have to fix a lot of arm mistakes before you can start setting walls, right?
Concrete guys have a tough job. Footings are never perfect and rebar sticks out, so to cut it off or doing the brick mold around the garages, using a grinder to surface out the concrete to make it perfect, because nothing is. But using a grinder is definitely helpful and comes in handy.
Okay, and how about you? What's your experience with grinders, and what are you looking for in a grinder?
Yeah, in plumbing, you know, we use grinders a lot to cut rod, to cut all of our accessories, to hang our pipe, but we also use grinders to polish an area or get it ready for a shower base, for example. You know, what we're looking for in grinders is, you know, speed, power, durability, and convenience.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, if grinders are your area of interest, it only makes sense to give a good hard look to Flex, because we are the inventor of the angle grinder. 100+ years ago, we invented the game of grinding, and we have a robust line of angle grinders, so check it out. You see 4 of them right here. The one that we're gonna feature specifically in a demo in a few minutes here is going to be the paddle switch variable speed. But let me tell you about all that's going on with these grinders. They're powered by a 24-volt sensor-free brushless motor. It allows 25 to 50% faster cutting speed than other industry leaders. Variable speed control, you can adjust the speed to match the application for optimal precision for the accessory used. Also, I've held a lot of grinders in my time, and it's almost like putting on a shoe where sometimes you go, nope, doesn't feel right, doesn't feel right. I think when you wrap your hands around the Flex, you're gonna see that it is so ergonomic. It's slimmer than most, and it just feels good in your hand. As far as performance on the job site, with all of that power, there's gonna be some vibration. This is gonna ease your pain with the shock shield handle. It helps to limit vibration for maximum control. It's got advanced anti-kickback technology, meaning it'll stop it on a dime the second it feels some sort of torsional movement. And popping the battery out here, I'm gonna show you something that's really convenient. Look at this, toolless one-step guard adjustment. So you're not reaching for something and monkeying around and trying to get it right. I mean, simply dial it in. Next up, what we're gonna be doing is putting the tool to the test. We're gonna cut through number 4 rebar with a 5-inch cutting wheel. Let's see how that goes. How did it all go?
I was at probably, I would say, twice as fast, easily.
Really? All right, so tell me about the experience.
Smooth, it didn't kick back at all. I didn't have to apply too much pressure. I let the tool do the work, and the rest is history.
Yeah, so on the job site, you use both corded and battery-powered angle grinders, correct?
Correct.
So tell me about this versus, say, the corded experience. What does this bring to the party that you'd like to leave behind with corded?
The power with this is basically the same as a corded tool, so now you don't have to deal with the inconveniences of a cord, bringing it around wherever you're going, stringing it out, having to move your power source. This is as simple as it gets with the battery with that power.
Yeah, and you know, these guys are really known as energy consumptive tools, right? So a great hallmark of Flex is 25% longer runtime, 50% faster charge time. So it seems like a win-win all the way around.
Absolutely.
And I think I can sum it up by saying Flex, the obvious winner. If you're a fabricator and your job in life is to put holes into hard stone surfaces for plumbing, you would probably never use a battery-powered angle grinder to do the job, because heretofore they just did not have the power necessary to get the job done. But with the Flex 24-volt side switch angle grinder, it's possible because of the power of this machine. 10,000 RPMs, which is about 1,000 RPMs greater than any other battery-powered angle grinder. So here's the demo. What we're gonna be doing is putting a 2.5-inch hole into granite. This is 3 cm granite, so tough stuff. And Joe, I'm gonna step away here for dust purposes. You got your protection on, so show us how it works. when the dust settles, it's obvious that that tool had all it took and then some to get the job done, huh?
It sure did.
Alrighty, so when you put it on the granite and pulled the trigger, what'd you think about it?
Granite's a tough material. When I put it on the granite before I even started making the hole, I was thinking it was gonna be tough, difficult, you know, with some rough spots. As I was going through making the hole, it was smooth the whole way.
Yeah, it seemed like relentless power. It never the sound of a bog, anything. It was just like, just boring right through it. How about the vibration?
Very little vibration.
Okay.
Not what I expected.
Yeah, it's got the shock shield handle, and so what that's gonna do is minimize the vibration for you, the user, to make that job, if possible, a little more pleasurable, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? For all the people, all the fabricators that might have had experiences trying it previously with a battery-powered tool, I think it is now clear that Flex is what's next.
I'm Tim Johnson with Shop Tool Reviews. Flex sent us the 24-volt brushless 5-inch angle grinder. So this will accept 4.5 and 5-inch wheels, whether you're cutting or grinding. One of the unique features on this grinder is the toolless guard. So I can easily index this guard around to several different positions without pushing any buttons, without grabbing a tool or anything. Just rotate it one way and it will click into place, indexing in several different positions. I can also even remove this by turning it around to the front side and pulling it off. Obviously, you have to remove the wheel to do so. It also has a spindle lock right here at the top, and you even get some vibration isolation built into the handle. One thing I really love about a grinder is a paddle switch. So I love seeing a paddle switch grinder. It's just kind of preference. Others like a slide lock, which by the way, Flex also makes a slide lock in this as well. But another unique feature on this is not only is it a paddle switch, but you can also control the speed. So you have push buttons down here on the bottom where you can actually select the speed that you want. So that's setting your max speed, and then your paddle switch is turning that on and off. Now, it's one thing about just cutting through rebar, cutting through 1/4-inch steel, something like that with a slice wheel. Easy to do that. Most grinders will be able to handle that. But it's another thing when you have to put your 4.5-inch grinder, 5-inch grinder to the test by beveling some 1/4-inch or 3/8-inch steel, as we're doing right here. We easily put a 45-degree bevel on this 3/8-inch thick steel. Truly impressive power with this 4.5-inch grinder. The 24-volt battery and the brushless motor really provides that power needed to turn that wheel through these tough situations. Another nice feature on this is the removable stainless steel mesh that keeps particulate from floating through your tool, because it's pulling air through the bottom of this tool and cooling everything inside it and dispensing it out the front of this tool. So to have those stainless steel mesh guards there that you can actually pull off, blow those out, keep those clean, so that your tool is staying cool and staying clean. This 5-inch 24-volt grinder is very impressive. Back to you, Barnaby.
When you need to set a fastener into concrete, you first need to make a hole into the concrete, right? And to make a hole, you need a rotary hammer, because it's tough stuff. So let's talk to Joe and Bamadelli right here about what you guys are looking for in a rotary hammer. Joe?
I'm looking for power and comfort.
Okay, yeah, it's a tough job, and be as comfortable as you can, right? How about you?
Yeah, for me, look, my background is electrical engineering, so I'm always thinking about the power output of a tool and whether or not the tool is actually smooth and going through the... Tell the difference between the tool jamming up or whether or not I've hit a piece of material that's...
Hey, just real quick, I wanted to comment about the sensor-free stuff. Yeah, I know they keep mentioning it. But again, that's a more advanced type of brushless motor. It doesn't have the sensors, which can break. If you drop the tool, it makes it more robust. I know it's cheesy, guys, but we're getting through it. Just remember, just watch it, take it for what it's worth. Don't listen to the marketing.
At 980 RPMs. Also, really important with this sort of work, shock shield vibration suppression, so it's going to be easier on you as the user. And an LED light that's going to illuminate the work in front of you, because if you're making holes, you want to make sure they're going in the exact right spot. So, I've got a demo for you. We're going to be driving a 3/8-inch SDS Plus bit through spec concrete at 5,000 PSI. sounded like some tough work going on out here. So who won the race?
Flex did.
By how much?
Took him about 5 times longer.
Really, that much?
A long time.
All right, so tell me about using the tool. What did it feel like to you?
Well, before the competition, it felt like David going against Goliath. After the competition was done, I had the brains, he had the bronze, but it was a tool. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and what about you? I mean, you're operating what is, I guess, one of the most popular ones on the job site here. How did it feel in your hand? What were you thinking?
You know, I kept looking over and looking at the lack of vibration that was happening on that side versus my side, having to push so much. And you always worry about breaking one of these drill bits, right? And I looked over and said to myself, I'm probably not gonna break a bit with that one. This one, completely different story.
Kind of a rocky ride?
Usually is.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you characterize that as much smoother? I mean, you're watching each other as you're doing it, right?
Yeah, I saw the struggle bus over there. I had a lot of power, very little vibration. The control, it was great.
All right, well, hey, you know what? Just a fair fight, right? I'm gonna run some specs by you real quick just so you know what happened here. Again, this is one of the most popular hammers on the job site today, and this is the Flex 24 volt. We're running 3/8" SDS plus bits, going through spec concrete, 5,000 PSI, 5 amp hour batteries. And I'm here to say the best tool won?
Always.
Flex.
Another tool that I want to talk to you guys about is the rotary hammer. So we did quite a bit of demo with this. We haven't made a lot of holes with it, but I can say the vibration on it is very low. It's got a nice balance to it. It's got decent weight. It was just really nice to use. We got quite a bit of runtime out of 5 amp battery. We just used it straight for this demo, for this chipping, and yeah, really impressed with it. It seems like it's gonna be a great tool and be able to take a lot of abuse. Well, that's it for coverage from us. I gotta say thanks, Barnaby, for having us. Back to the face-off.
My name's Eddie Torres. My family owns 3 properties, and I'm really the property manager for those 3 properties. I used to also do construction for the city. We had mixers that we had to use to mix glue for the sewer pipes.
There's no doubt mixing mud is a chore, right? Darn close to a really hard workout when you're standing over that bucket. The longer you do it, the more uncomfortable it gets. So this is gonna be a game changer for you if you're lucky enough to be the person that's designated to mix something up on the job site, right? It is the Flex 24 volt mud mixer. 24 volt, sensor-free, brushless motor, plenty of muscle, superior dual handle design. When you grab a hold of this, you're gonna say to yourself, that feels right. And then you can even dial it in electronically so it's fine-tuned. Speaking of speed, 530 RPMs. And when it comes time to switch out the paddle, you got a 1/2" keyed chuck so it's easy to operate and hold super tight because you don't want that getting away from you, right? Also, a lock-on switch because you just don't want to be holding on for dear life when you're mixing mud. You just want to relax a little bit and let the tool do the work. Okay, so let's put the tool to work and see how it compares to what is one of the most popular mixers on the job site right now. We've got Joe and Eddie here, so start spinning. Okay, so switch. Okay, Joe, so let's talk about the comparison.
Starting out with this one, just the feel. You know, I got punished for the job. Coming over here, the feel is very comfortable. Something I wouldn't mind doing compared to something that I wouldn't mind doing.
Okay, so let's compare the experience between this one and working with the Flex.
It's like you're behind of a steering wheel. It's just a design that you're more familiar with and comfortable with. Easier to grip, easier to use, easier to just maintain. This here is just clunky and it's tough after a while, and no comparison.
All right, so if you guys had the duty, say, to mix mud on the job site and somebody said, hey, you can either use this tool or that tool, what's the vote?
The Flex.
Hands down the Flex.
All right, so I guess if you're ever just like the finger points at you and it's like you say, why do I have to mix the mud today? Ask them, hey, can I do it with a Flex? I think it's a much better choice. We just saw a ton of incredible 24-volt flex tools. And to round out the lineup, we've got the job site radio, the wet dry vac, floodlight, and a full line of attachments and accessories to complement the tools. So let's get into it. The job site radio, dual loud speakers with bass boost, so you're gonna get some thump. Also, Bluetooth, 150-foot range on that, so no matter where you are in the proximity, it's not gonna be fading in and out off your phone. And then there is the wet dry vacuum. It is more powerful than the most popular wet dry vac that is currently being used by pros on the job site with 41 CFM, a HEPA filter, and a 1.6 gallon capacity. No matter what you're trying to pick up as you're working, it's gonna take it. As far as the two lights, we've got a flashlight that's a handheld with 300 lumens, and the floodlight that has 2,000 lumens, and it's diffused light, so it's gonna bathe the area in illumination. A 360-degree aluminum reinforced roll cage. It's gonna take a lump on the job site, as all things do, right? Saw blades, we're entering into the active speed carbide area right here. We've got the 7 1/4 and the 6 1/2, and it's got active speed tooth design. So this is gonna tear through the wood for both framing and also forming. Also, anti-stick coating and a thin kerf, so it's gonna take the wood and exhaust it so you can keep pressing forward. As far as drilling and driving bits go, we've got the Flex Zone and the Stack Pack. So what we've got right here is the torsion impact bits. Why are they torsion impact? Because our tools at 24 volts with brushless, sensor-free motors, that is going to be delivering amazing power to this, what I would call the business end of your tool. And so these bits are designed to take that power and transfer it to your work surface to get the job done without breaking as lesser bits would. And when you're done with the bit, what you have to do is put them someplace, right? And so this is the awesome thing, Flex Stack Pack. See how I popped it off the stack right here? These are all connected. Just press the button to do that. Press this button. These can all flip in and out. Everything is gonna stay snug, and then when you're done with it, snap it back on and you're ready to go. Oscillating multi-tool, we've got the accessories for that as well with really, really tough blades. We've got, for the recip saw, we've got the destruction blades here that are good for wood and metal, and we also have a carbide blade that's gonna tear through cast and stainless as well. We also have blades that are designed specifically for our recip saw. They are demolition blades. They are bimetal, meaning that what they'll do is they'll get through both wood and nails because you never know what lies behind the wall, right? Two, we've got a carbide blade that is gonna give you the ability to cut through both cast, which is super tough and many times really old and hard, and also stainless. On the jigsaw side of things, we have high speed and high carbon. So again, no matter what the job is in front of you, these blades will get the job done. So you add it all up, we've got the awesome tools and also the awesome accessories and the job site enhancements that you need to get the job done right. So there you have it. Time after time, test after test, Flex comes through. Now I want to stress that the head-to-head competitions were done using the top competitors' tools that matched up as closely as possible with the Flex tools. This is a big day for the power tool industry and a big day for Flex. Advances of this magnitude only come from making bold changes. The Flex 24-volt platform delivers 20% more power, 25% longer runtime, and up to 50% faster charging. And remember, every Flex tool, battery, and charger purchased and registered now through December 31st, 2021 gives you a Flex Founder's lifetime warranty. Now, what about those awesome giveaways? The full Flex 24-volt lineup and the grand prize of a brand new Ford F-150 truck. Head to flexpowertools.com/faceoff and complete the entry form to be entered into the drawing. At Flex, we're inspired by the strength, performance, and ingenuity that we see in the pros, and we're working hard to create innovative products for the job site that deliver the next generation of power and work as hard as the people holding those tools. We look forward to seeing what you will do with the new Flex 24-volt lineup and are looking forward to bringing even more innovative products to you in 2022 and beyond. Whatever the next job calls for, you're going to be more than ready. So thanks for joining us. See you on the job site. It's time for what's next.
I really have been impressed with how every
All right, there we go. I think that's enough of that. I will say this: the guys they used are they're actual contractors, people that do this for a living. They did switch it up. If you guys noticed, they did have one guy using the flex tool one time. Then when they did the next round, they switched up, had the other guy doing it. But this is this is marketing. They're not going to show you any fails. You knew the flex was going to win every time. They didn't. I'm not saying they rigged these. They're not going to rig stuff, because if you rig something in the digital era, you're going to get called out for it. Someone's going to put it on YouTube. They're going to do a breakdown. They're going to show how you did it, how you lied, and it's going to ruin your reputation. No one's going to trust you. But what they are going to do is, and everyone does this, they're going to show it in the best light. They know how their tool is going to perform in certain situations, and they're going to put them in that situation where they know what's going to win, because that's what you would do too. I'm pretty sure those were all M18 fuel or the equivalent to whatever, the tool that they had. Again, they're not going to cheat on that, because it's not worth it in the long run to do that. And yes, he did say what's next, so I owe you guys a drink. Oh my gosh. Make that go. Oh, wrong one to go away. How about that one? There we go. Anyway. Every time he said, the quick change thing was getting to be a bit much, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. All right. So, I'm going to say something for, my fellow YouTubers and stuff like this. I don't know if it was a good choice for them to do it. It does kind of make you come off as being, a bit in the bag. I do have a sore spot with the word shill. A shill is a scam. It's somebody who doesn't tell you they're in on it. They don't tell you they got the tools for free. They don't tell you that they're working with the people, that kind of stuff. The whole point of the shill is like when you're doing a 3-card monte. The guy who comes up and looks like, oh, wow, I won $100. That's the shill. The shill doesn't tell you he's part of the game. If they tell you, if they're up front 110%, of course, you're always going to keep in the back of your head, this guy got the tools for free, or this guy is paid, or anything, that kind of stuff. I get paid. I do this for a business. This is what I do for a living. I get paid for stuff. They send me free tools. But I found pretty much with the free tools kind of stuff, you can pretty much say whatever you want, all right? If they're paying you, they want you to say certain stuff. But if you're just getting free tools, you can say whatever you want. As long as you're not crass about it and you don't lie, they can't really say anything to you about it. And because we have the audience, they have to come back. I've said negative stuff about Harbor Freight. A lot of people think I don't, but I've said a lot of negative stuff about Harbor Freight. They still send me free tools. The only company I will say that has refused to send me any stuff is Milwaukee, and they've reached out to me a number of times, and they never said explicitly why, but when I said point blank that I will inform people that you sent this to me for free, I never hear back from them. So I do have an issue with Milwaukee about that. Anyway, let's see here. Andre, yes, I am going to be doing a teardown on all the batteries, on the Impact. I'm going to try and do one on the Recip. I'm probably not going to do one on the Circ Saw. And maybe the grinder. I don't know about the grinder. Are we hashtagging it? Or step out of the way of the dust. Yeah, I mean, well, when you're cutting direct overhead, I've been in that situation, man. When you're cutting direct overhead, there's sometimes you can't get out of the way of the dust. The contest is U.S. entry only. It's okay. Don't worry about the contest. I've already won it. It's, there's no point in entering. Fry says, I was wondering if you can buy flex bit and saw blades for my own power tools. I think their blades and bits are top quality. I'd be interested to check them out. You got to remember, when it comes to the blades, this is the same people making skill saw, all right? They know how to make blades, so I'll give them that. Phil Boyle says, Den Tools, Jeff, you're so right. Thanks for hosting us. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. So we got 6:43. We're going to stay on until 7, answering any of the questions you've got. Let's see here. The man behind the bear, too funny. See it slamming and it shots back. Yeah, we like to have some fun around here. We like to keep it real. We like to be honest. For my part, I'm 52 years old. I did my time in the trades. I worked in tech. I worked my way up to upper management. I ran a tech company for close to 20 years. My benefit is, they send me the tools for free, but they do that because they kind of have to. It's part of the industry. I don't need them to. I'm not sitting here waiting for handouts. I make decent money. I've got property. We got a house up in Montana. We got a house down here. They're coming, for most of these YouTubers, they're coming hat in hand to them because they need them more than the YouTuber needs the company. All right. Because I'll be honest, if I did a video just totally trashing Flex, I'd get tons of views. There's all sorts of incentive for me to do just that. So, look at AVE when he trashed Hercules. That's one of his, he's probably made close to $40,000 off that one video. So there's a reason guys do that. You talk up a tool, you say this thing's great, you maybe get a few free tools. You just utterly trash something, you can make a lot of money doing that. John says, were they both using Flex bits and blades? I don't know. I can find out about that. Actually, Barnaby is my contact that they gave me. The guy he's not the most technical guy. He's the guy who's like basically the I'll get you in touch with this person or this person or this person. He's the handler, if you would. CM says, thanks, Jeff, for hosting the party. Great bunch here. Have a good night, everyone. Shine on. Thank you, sir. Boylan's, no rock tumbler. I know. But remember, they're coming out with 100 tools here, so maybe shortly. No radio teardown. I did like the look of the radio. I'd like to find out more info on the radio. Also, if there's specific ones you want to see, see me get my hands on, let me know, and I will do my best to figure it out. What's my personal opinion, finally? Here, okay, fine. You ready? You ready for this? This is my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that these are professional-grade contractor tools. You pick it up, and it feels like a good, solid quality tool. I don't pick it up and I don't go, there's some tools I picked up where you're just like, damn, that is, like, I'll be honest, for the money, the skill, I'm not supposed to show it, this tool impressed me for the money. All right. But I got a 2-tool kit for $80. This, as a kit, is like $250. It better impress you. But the question is, how does it run? They run good. They run at, are they going to beat Milwaukee? I'm not really worried about specs. It's not a quarter-mile drag strip kind of thing. I'm not trying to see if it can get sub 10 seconds and that kind of stuff. The real issue when you talk about professional grade tools, I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who says, well, saving half a second is important because over the day, no, I've been on the job site. I have done all the work. That is not where you save your money. You save your money in having your tools lined up, having your gear with you, being smart in your organization. That's where you save your money. You spend way more time going from one job to the next, or one piece to the next. That's where you lose the time. Not in whether you finish driving 10 screws in 10 seconds versus 10 and a half seconds. That's a BS argument. But the real thing is, are they going to last? And is there going to be service? They say there's going to be service. They're saying 5 years. They're saying all the right things. And when I talked to them, it felt to me like they meant it. That's just my impression. But a lot of guys can say stuff and then they don't deliver. The question is, do they deliver? And we're going to be watching them. We're going to be testing them. We're going to be holding their feet to the fire. One of the reasons why I'm a proponent of Harbor Freight is they back up their warranty. You go in there with a tool that's broken, a hand tool that's got a lifetime warranty, you slap it down, they're like, get another one. They don't even look at it twice. They're like, yep, sure, just grab one. You're in and out in 5 minutes. That's the kind of, and that attitude comes from top down. That is, people are like, we're not going to mince words over this. We're not going to dicker about this or that other thing. Just fix it. And when you got that kind of somebody backing you, that's what's important to a pro. So do they last long? I'll be honest, DeWalt is so bad on warranty that most contractors I know throw their DeWalt tools away when they break. Even if they're still under warranty, it's just not worth it to them. Fry Guy says he was impressed with the jigsaw the most. The entry is only open to tradespeople. Really? Can you do that? I would imagine that there would be many state laws that prohibit that sort of thing. I would crank up the tool with a tool-powered battery. You know what? I got to do a test. So if you hadn't seen, I did pick up this radio. As part of the free combo pack. I still have to go get the combo pack itself. I thought it was being shipped to home like the radio was, and it's at the store apparently. So I'm going to be testing some of the brushless Craftsman stuff that I bought, and hopefully it's way better than the brush, because the brush stuff I've seen isn't worth the plastic it's casing it. Enrique said the first angle grinder, we should tear this new one apart. The only problem with that is putting angle grinders back together is a trial. Quicksoul says, with them being priced at or higher than Milwaukee, they're not higher than Milwaukee. They're higher than, I looked at Milwaukee. I went through, because I broke the news on the prices 2 weeks ago. I did a video on it. I was the first one to have all the prices out there. And they're priced about 10% lower than Milwaukee. And DeWalt for that matter. Let's see here, what else? They made it seem it was all about speed and power. That's not what it's all about. They do that. You can't blame them for that, because that is really all you can show in a video like that. You can't show 3 years on the job. That's not something you can do. All you can do is be like, here's how it looks, here's how it feels, and here's how it performed in this test. And unfortunately, there's a lot of guys who think that that's all there is to it. They look at it and go, well, this tool beat that tool, so I'm going to buy that tool. Look at these tests. Look at these tests for your own interpretation of how it performed. Like, did it look like it was shaking itself to death? I mean, that's one thing. These are all really smooth tools. I will say that. Like, the kind of power they put out is... the only other tool I've seen this from is Festool, where I run the tool and I'm like, this, you grab it, you pick it up, you run it, and you're like, that doesn't have much power. And then you put it to the job and you're like, how is it doing that? That, I will say that much about them. The Craftsman used to be really good at the lifetime warranty. Well, that's it. You know, I grew up as a Craftsman kid. My grandfather had Craftsman in the shop. I wanted to have Craftsman. And then we know what happened to Craftsman. Let's see here. I know I'm getting behind here already. The wife's going to give me a hard time. The Steven says, thanks for hosting the event. Love the channel. Steven, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you guys, offering or supporting the channel here with this. Hold on. I got a visitor.
Hi. I just figured I'd come in for the last few minutes.
Wallace says, thank you for your opinion and honesty. Shine on. No, guys, that's what it's all about, especially on YouTube and stuff like that, is just being entirely honest. And I'll be honest, a lot of people say, well, you're not very critical of a lot of stuff. I also have this kind of the belief that there is no bad tool. You just have to find the job it's right for. So if I don't say a job or a tool is good for this, then there's probably a reason. I'll say, hey, this thing was, it's a great doorstop, and I think at $9.99 it makes a fantastic doorstop. I'm not talking about the Shervons here or the Flex. I'm saying I'm always looking for that best use case scenario. So when I review a tool, when I'm talking to you about it, that's what I'm giving you. Is usually the best use case scenario. It's easy to tear stuff down. The smart person finds out, how do I use this tool? Because that's what we are. We're tool users. Jeff, you can also cut the railroad track with the circ saw. I did think about that, but I don't know. Maybe we'll save that for another one. I only have so much railroad track. But yeah, I've got 2 feet of really old, pulled out of the desert railroad track, and we're going to be taking to it with the recep and with the grinder. In fact, if you guys were here at the beginning, the phone call I got from Home Depot telling me that they don't have the parts I ordered that they swore they had.
I did wonder about that phone call.
And you wonder why people might go to Lowe's and buy Flex.
Yeah.
Because Home Depot is a pain in my backside. And the only reason I was going to Home Depot is because they got the Diablo recip blade that I want. Shamaka, any release date for us poor Canadians? I don't know, but I'll ask them. I know the official release date for these tools is May 1st. May 1st. End of the month. Flex will not be pushing Cobalt out the door. Cobalt is Lowe's house line. It's their mid-tier line. It's not moving. It's going to be Skill, Cobalt, and Flex. They're going to be their 1, 2, 3, just like over at Home Depot you get Ryobi, Rigid, and Milwaukee. I mean, a drop test would have been nice. Ed, the old tech guy, says, Bauer is incredibly impressed. A few contractors that I know completely floored me. I did not expect much from Bauer. In fact, the guys who do Bauer were afraid to send it to me because they knew I was a little bit biased against it. I've been pleasantly surprised with it. That's what my go-to tool is at our house in Montana. I have the entire Bauer line up there, and I use it for everything. Red, have another one for us. All
Please
right.
don't encourage him.
There's only a little bit left.
I have to deal with you.
Yeah, well. John said, I would donate, but all I have is VA disability. Dude, like button. Just hit the like button. Yeah. That's all you have to do. We don't ask or beg for donations. We always appreciate them. Honestly, they blow me away that people love the show and love what we do enough to donate, and it warms our hearts. But we're a community here, and all we ask is that we share the love. You know, a like, a comment. That's, you know, it all helps.
Yep. Share with a friend.
Unless it's COVID.
Yeah, then don't share.
That one went down a little bit wrong.
Like you're a little bit of a dragon.
Splat PB says, for warranty service, do you take it to Lowe's or mail it in? So you don't take it to Lowe's. That was a big thing because Lowe's is not great for dealing with, neither is Home Depot. I don't want to have to go to either of those for warranty. It's like hard. I don't want to go to I would shoot myself in the foot before going to Walmart service center or service counter or whatever. Anyway, you are going to deal with Flex's array of, they have a network of service centers. You may have to send it in if there's one not close. And I was a little worried because I'm like, new tool company, are they going to have a full array? But then you're like, oh, this is also Skillsaw. Skillsaw has been doing professional grade tools for years and years and years. They already have a fully built out service line. So they're going to have the same people servicing them. So you'll be set as far as that's concerned. Trophy Dollar says, howdy, Mr. Bear. Justin's Garage says, I'll have to watch the live video in the morning. The joys of having small kids. Yeah.
Yep.
We've been there.
Yep. Sometimes I think we're still there.
Daniel says, that was fluff. Flex will be another tool. All these marketing things are fluff. If you've ever watched, I've watched a lot of the Milwaukee ones. They're fluff. The DeWalt ones are just straight marketing. I hate watching. And Bosch's too. It's these marketing people. And I did 4 years working in a PR marketing firm. I was a technical person, but these people didn't know it was a tech PR firm. So they'd always come to me. I was actually like writing the responses for some of the CEOs of the company because they didn't have time to deal with it. While I was still doing all the tech work and everything else because these people didn't understand it. I'm sorry for anybody who might be in marketing watching this, but I have seen so much Kool-Aid drank in marketing that I never want to work in corporate America ever again. It is... it upsets me to an amount that I can't say on a family-friendly channel. We got Stephen Glassman, Flex available in Canada this fall. Tim the Toolman says, shine on, thank you so much. Philip Boyle says, $10 on behalf of John. My dad was a vet. Thank you. Thanks for your sacrifice.
Oh, that is really sweet. Thank you so much. That was super awesome to do that.
And Donna Ross says, $7.50 for the ears.
Oh,
to get more ears.
I know.
Where are your ears?
Oh
my gosh.
I came unprepared.
For those who's new to this, usually during the live stream, she wears different ear things.
Different head.
Don't ask me why. It's my wife. I don't know.
Pete,
welcome. New Cub, thank you so much for joining, becoming a member. We really appreciate that. You're amazing. Connor says, Jeff, what do you think of the Flex 1/2-inch impact? I've used a lot of impacts, and I've not put it entirely through its paces, but I can tell you on first use that it's a well-made tool and it's got a ton of power. The one thing I will say though, some people find this annoying. I find it mildly annoying, but everyone's going that way. It's not an analog trigger. You get multiple speeds, but it's a virtual trigger. So at certain points, it actually ramps up. You like, I don't know if I'll see if you can hear this. No matter how much I pull back, if they don't hit a step, and it goes up to the next speed. So I gauged it out. There's 7 speeds I want to think in there. So it's like stair steps instead of a smooth plane. I'm just that kind of person who's like, I need it to be at 1.5 because I'm like that. Do the accessories also come with a lifetime warranty? I don't think so.
I think you might have missed a super chat.
Did I?
I think, was it Steven? I think you might have done another super chat. And I think that it won't let us see it.
Flex, Daughter Raw, Pete joined. And then that other one was a while back.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was Steven.
Yeah.
But you probably already saw it.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right.
Helper sense.
Yes. Anyway, I'm going back talking about I had to skip a couple to catch up with the super chat. Mr. Supreme says, thanks for keeping it real. Shine on. Thank you, sir. Justin Dow's in the house.
Hey, Justin.
I'm not going to say what, but just keep Justin Dow's family in your prayers. I even haven't had a chance to talk to you. He texted me today.
We'll talk.
Anyway, brother, man, we're thinking about you, all right? Same prayers. Daniel says, I will continue to use my line of batteries. Greg says, I got the same errors saying only open to the trades giveaway. I just got an email that I'm entered to win. What was I going to say? I was going to say, so I'll remember here. Very interested to see what the cost of the batteries are going to be. Yeah, that will be interesting. I mean, these are some really, remember, Flex is also, the parent company, Chevron, also makes Ego. They've been making batteries as long as Milwaukee and Makita, or just almost as long. So that's the first 3 doing it. They were doing it before DeWalt and all these other companies. They know this battery tech, and they've done more. I would say they've done more with the battery tech than a lot of these companies. I would love to. You know what I'd love to see is I would love to see a battery generator bank kind of thing. Like Ego's got one for their 56 volt batteries. I would love to see something where I could take, you know, they've got 12 amp hour batteries like this. I would love to see a gasless generator thing where it has like 12, they could put 4 of these batteries into. That would be great for the job site. Let's see here. Definitely getting this tool lines because of the warranty. Yeah, as an early adopter, people are like, what's going to make people jump ship? I'm like, lifetime warranty.
Hey, Princess Jamie.
Flex looks good, Justin now says. I want to get your hands, Justin. Would you be willing to get, if I got you a 1/2 inch impact and send it to you, would you test? Because Justin loves, for you as you don't know, he used to be in Milwaukee. He switched to DeWalt. He absolutely loves the DeWalt 1/2 inch impacts. I would like to see him test this on the job and see what he thinks about it. So is Metabo HPT getting axed at Lowe's? I don't think it's getting axed, but I think it's getting downsized would be the right term. They have too many lines as it is right now. Princess James says, gotta say hi to Mrs. DeBear. No, you don't.
I can't see on my normal thing over here.
Sorry, it got kind of warm in here. I don't know, the evening sun or something was hitting over here. Gerard says, are the batteries cross-use with the skill? No, they are not. They can't use them with the Cobalt. It's because of the chips. That's really proprietary tech with the chips talking to each other. Jeff, you are the dude. Thank you, Wang Chung. I appreciate it. Kevin says, thanks for your perspective. Dave says, thanks for your honesty. Thank you so much. We work hard, and it's, you know, I hate to say it because I sound a little biased, but I grew up in Iowa. That's just the way people around there roll. Farmers and stuff, there's no BS going on. You just tell it like it is. You're always polite. That's the other thing. But we're always polite, but we're not going to lie to you about it. Yep. What?
I said, yep, I was agreeing with you.
And let's see here.
I'm shocked when that happens.
Craig Nyes, great comments and insight. Really enjoyed the discussion. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the $10 super chat. As I said, it warms our heart. You guys are fantastic. Again, the Iowa part of me gets like almost embarrassed when people do it, because it's just amazing. ACL says, how long till DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita start responding to Flex's claims? Well, think about it. Makita just so happened to release 40 volt last week. It's almost like they knew this was coming. C. Adams says, does the Flex impact driver have 2 ball bearing detents in the collet? You know, I didn't look. And where's my... Get my little Olight flashlight. I love this one because there's a super dim setting. So you don't get as much glare when you're doing work on stuff. And I'm trying to see here. I see one... I think there's one detent. Like I said, I know some people said they didn't like it. I like the... I'm pressing the little... There's the trigger. Here's that little button. And when you press that, you get the auto eject, and it makes it easier to insert it as well. Rather than have to get your fingers in there and pull the collar out or stuff. All right. Let's see here. Thomas Fogarty, $5 super chat with a...
I really like it.
Is it a lemon of love?
I don't know, but I like it.
It's kind of creepy, but thank you.
It's not quite a hippo, but
it's not.
And I love hippos.
They can't all be hippos. All right, they can't all be hippos. Are there any battery chargers? Yeah. Matter of fact, so the standard charger is, and I showed this in the video I put out on Sunday. This is the standard charger, and I can tell you this will charge a 5 amp battery in 37 minutes. They call it a fast charger. It's a standard charger. Marketing. And they list this at 160 watts. I have not done the test yet because I'm still been trying to drain the dang batteries because the batteries last too long. This is the charger that came with the Circ Saw. 280 watt. This is their rapid charger. As you can see, it's a little bit beefier on this side, and you got this little extra part over here. So it's about an inch altogether wider. Otherwise, same height, same depth, everything else. Yes, there are 2 fans in these. Yes, they blow. You will feel air coming out of these. There's warm air coming out. They really do cycle the air through those things. Technical question. Are brushless motors spark-free, i.e. can be used in explosive areas? Technically, yes, but I wouldn't trust them unless they've been rated for it, and I don't know if they have. But I can ask them.
Did you see Princess Jamie's comment?
I try not to. She still has my Jeep and she won't give it to me.
He's a little bit sensitive about that.
What'd she say?
She says, we can disagree on tool brands at times, but definitely agree on choice of liquor.
And that's the one thing you'll find here at the Den of Tools is you're welcome to have your opinion. I grew up in a family that loves a good debate. But at the end of the day, we can sit down and have a drink. I don't take that kind of stuff personally. I got some pretty thick skin, believe it or not, which is a good thing being on YouTube. I will say if Rob over at Belts and Boxes calls me the what does he call me, the tool furry or whatever, I'm beat him with a salmon. John says, Philip Boyle, thank you. Thanks for your dad's service. Yes, so much. You know, if you guys don't know, my brother is a Marine, active duty currently. So he's coming to visit. So we're actually going to be staying in Vegas a little bit longer because he's coming down here. Got to see him. Always a good time when he's in the house. Quicksall says, that's what scares me. Ego is so atrocious on battery price. It's the only thing that keeps me away from them. Hopefully Flex will be better on pricing. And I'll tell you, I'm working on a video. I did a video on this 2-3 years ago. I'm doing where I combined it in with the drill pricing. I'm going to be doing a video that breaks down, like goes nuts with spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. Sorry, it's a geek thing. I'm going to do a full breakdown on pricing based on amp hour, based on availability, all that kind of what you get for the money. I'm going to finally tell us once and for all which brand gets us the best value when it comes to batteries. So stay tuned for that video. It's going to take some time, and I'm waiting for Flex to drop the prices on all their batteries before I launch that because I want to include them. Dan says, greetings from Guatemala, Central America. Love your channel and honesty when reviewing tools. Thank you so much for watching. Wish we were there. I'd love to go to Guatemala. I'd love to go to Central America. I've never been. I've been to Mexico.
On my bucket list.
Been all over the Caribbean. I'd love to go down there. All right, let's see what else we got here. John says they didn't show the tools for the other use. People cut steel with circ saws. They do. I cut. If you guys didn't see that steel demon blade from Diablo, I put it on an $80 miter saw, 7.5-inch miter saw from Harbor Freight, like the cheapest of the cheap, and I could cut steel with that like butter. It was fabulous. It's always hotter where Jesse is. Yes, it is. Are the batteries 21700s? I think they are 18650s in the 5 amp, and I think they are 21700s in the 8 amp. As you could, if you look close, I'll put them next to each other. You can see the size difference there. That to me says 21700. But I'm gonna bust them open, and we're gonna find out for sure there. And by the way, they're cooling tech, and we're gonna look at all that. But from the engineering stuff I've seen, it looks real and it looks good. But we're gonna take a look at it and see if it really is.
Little person checking on you.
What kind of chip, like Laser Fritos, things that make you go, I'm not a chip person. I do like, okay,
He's not a chip
fresh
person.
homemade potato chips with barbecue sauce. That's the only kind of thing where I'm like, oh, I need chips. Ed the Old Guy just now says, let's see what Flex take out a Honda 6-cylinder harmonic balancer. Yeah, there we go. Will it turn over, a Predator motor? Plain Jet says, hey, Jeff, I pulled a muscle in my neck today. I can't really move. Help. Oh, my gosh, I hate that. Rice in a sock, nuke it, put it on the thing. Actually, it used to be like heat, cold for the first it was like, always use heat. Then it was cold, then heat. Now they're just saying cold all the time. Just put ice on it. Ice and Advil. That's what's going to save you. Gramute says, hell of a turnout today. Good job. I see over 800 in stream. We're currently at 782. We were over at 900, which was awesome. Thank you all for joining us. Robert says, were you as underwhelmed as most others? A lot of hype for marketing, dude. I was not underwhelmed. There was a lot of stuff there that I saw that looked pretty cool. A lot of people like to think that they don't think they're armchair Sherlock Holmeses. Like, oh, he's not doing this. They don't do that kind of stuff. I've seen these people. I've been there live for stuff. They don't do that kind of stuff. That's scammy. You'll see some YouTubers who do it. That's for sure. But the companies, and having worked for a marketing firm, it is not worth their time or money to do stuff like that. Yes, they will put themselves in a position where they know the advantage is for their tool. They will do that. But like the guys driving the big augers and stuff like that, that was all real, man. It's not, if they cheat, it's too easy to call them out because they know that people like me are going to repeat those tests and it's going to be clear what happens. I think at the end of the day though, were they like, oh my gosh, they're so much better than Milwaukee? No, I think they have a lot of stuff, a lot of features, there's a lot of smart stuff that they did that basically, as the second comer or the third comer on this, you get the benefit of being like, okay, they did it this way, and here's what everyone is saying that's wrong with it, so we'll add those features to ours. Yes, the turbo feature sounds cheesy, but if you think about it, that's the benefit of battery over corded. Corded is stuck based off the power that's coming in. With battery, you can overcharge the circuit for short periods of time. It literally is a turbo mode. In fact, the there was a car that did that. I think it was the Honda CRZ that did just that with its it was a hybrid, and it would do that it had a little button, turbo, on the steering wheel. What does BL mean? Brushless. I think it's on all the tools. Philly Fix says the 160 watt charger is 10 to 15 dB louder than the Makita fan cooled. I believe that. I did notice that the thing is loud. In fact, the Makita I didn't realize had a fan until I read the marketing material on it. Connor says, I'm 13. I have my own Makita Impact drill driver 3 amp. Connor, I believe you've commented before. First of all, love the logo. Nothing runs like a deer. And that's awesome. You keep it up, man. You keep working. Pete says Makita has a patented cordless belt sander. It's not out yet. I wonder if Flex is working on one. That would be interesting. I gotta see. Somebody said something about a Makita patent that just came out. I gotta check on that. Andre says, just keep in mind that because you can super fast charge batteries doesn't mean you should. You kill batteries faster with fast charges. That's a good point. Let's see here. Dean says, did you see Chevron opened huge auto parts factory in Hungary to get around the EU tariffs? I wonder if they will be building a factory here at some low-cost place like Iowa or Kentucky. I can't say, but I did ask them point blank, will you be making tools in America? And their response was, can't answer that. Here's what we're currently doing. But our chairman has said, like when we bought Flex, and they decided to make tools in Germany because it was a German company and keep making tools there. He said we should make the tools where we sell them. That's all I can say on it. Robin Belts and Boxes is a great guy. He is a great guy. We tease each other back and forth. Hopefully going to hook up with him when he comes out for World of Concrete in June. If any of you are going to be here in June, around that time, hit me up. I've got a suite down at the Venetian. Maybe we'll be hosting a little bit of party, having some drinks, and hitting the town. Trust me, I know all the good spots. She's not coming.
In a breaking update, Mama Bear's gonna come.
Change plans. Bart says, I saw one of those Flex circ saws run underwater. Oh my gosh, you got to go over and check out, what's it, Dirt Monkey. He took a freaking aquarium. Not only did he take it, plunge it underwater, and run it, he cut 2x4s underwater while it was running.
Wow.
That is insane. Speaking of insane, I'm looking forward to, if you haven't checked out, you got to check out the Torque Test channel. They're doing some great stuff over there, and they got their hands on one of the 1/2-inch impact wrenches, and they're going to be putting that in through the torture test. Be sure and check that one out. Carrie says, should that button for releasing the bit fail, you can still, yes, you can. Yeah, you can get your fingers in there. You can do it just fine, just like that. Paul St. Marie says, hello again. Hey, Paul, how you doing, man? Bill says, Camp Lejeune is our local military base. I'm retired Coast Guard. Coasties! Man, I love the Coasties. You got the best ships, I think. Princess Jamie says, Central America and South America is nice. I don't think I've ever been south of the equator. I've been in a lot of places. I've been, all over Europe and all over North America, but have not yet broken that whole south of. I want to sail and cross. I used to sail a whole bunch. So, Nerdy Quest, use a kilowatt on charging batteries. I will see what I can do. That's a good idea. Paul, I wish I had my clamp meter down here. Paul Semery says, don't think you'll cut any of that steel I sent you with a circ. No, not going after that. I got some railroad tie. That steel that's earmarked. Yeah. Steve says, can you run down the pricing of the 1/4-inch impact and hammer drill? I can. In fact, I can do better than that. Let me come over here, and I got this already set up to do some of that. There we go. So
I'm going to run away. I thought we were.
Yeah, well, people still want to talk.
I know.
They got questions. All right. This is the impact that I have right now. You get now, what's interesting is mine came with a case and not the bag. I hate cases. Love bags. And these, fantastic bags. I know it's geeky, not important really at the end of the day. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot we're supposed to give something away. Hold on. Trying to see. I got bags in the way. Flex bags, no less. I'm going to fall over and bust my ass live on camera. All right. Here's what we're giving away. We got a Lowe's for Pros hat. Now, remember, we were talking about this in the chat. The CEO of Lowe's used to be one of the top, like the number 2 or number 3 guy at Home Depot, and he got passed over for the job. He's pissed. He took it personally, and he is gunning for Home Depot. and he wants to make Lowe's the new place for pros, hence the Lowe's for Pros. That's what this is all about. I remember when they get pissed personally and stuff like, we win. We got a Flex journal, lined journal. We got a Lowe's for Pros shirt. I think it's an XL for you bigger guys. Sorry about that. A Flex sticker. A Lowe's for Pros tape measure. A mask. And then, let me pile this all back in here before it wanders off, because trying to get the cubs to not steal everything. I'll be honest. They also sent me a hat and a mug. It's a Yeti tumbler. I'm keeping these. And the Cubs and the Misses grabbed some stuff too. But we're going to get you some stuff, including I'm going to toss in a brand new, still in the package. Oh my gosh, the glare. The Olight, this is their bulb kind of thing. It's like the push button. The bottom's magnetic. These things are awesome. You're going to love that. I'm going to throw that in there. We're going to add in some Dental Tool stickers, a signed copy of my book, and anything else I can find lying around the den here. So we're going to have a chance to win all that. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to send an email that says subject matter Lowe's for Pros, and you're going to send it to, where's my comment section? You're going to send it to Miss. I'm typing the email address in right now. Mrs. The Bear at denofTools.com. And we're going to pick somebody at random after the show. And we'll contact you, and we'll send you your gift pack of assorted, accompaniments. Princess Jimmy wants to know if Jesse's available for chat. Text her. I think she's just hanging out in the living room. Sounds like you're channeling Montgomery Inn's because. Oh, I am, Paul. I totally am. That is exactly what I'm thinking about. Oh man, you nailed that one. Brandon says, so Flex's huge claim to fame is basically their tools flex vibration suppression. No, it's the battery tech, the way the batteries talk to the tool. They're going to be more robust because, it sounds like a marketing thing. That sensorless, brushless motor is actually a big deal. That's really hard to do. All right. And it's expensive to do because you have to do some really clever, there's a lot of programming that goes into the computer that controls that kind of thing. So that's actually a pretty big deal. Plain Jet says, I didn't know about the ice thing. I've been using heating pad. Doesn't seem to help much. I used to do a lot of sports. So I played hockey, football, and wrestling. And then I got into martial arts for years and years, which is why I have bad knees probably. But anyway, I've gone through the whole spectrum of thing over the years, and it's all about, that's why pro athletes do the ice bath thing. ACL says, I thought Milwaukee has an M18 charger with a cooling system in it. They might. I don't remember seeing it, but they might. Philip says, thanks again, Jeff. It was a good time. Got to run. I totally understand. Find more deals for a Klein brand. Dude, I do. I try to find stuff from them, but they don't like to do a lot of deals. I even tried to talk to them to get information from them, and they didn't want to talk to me. Tim Tillman says, DeWalt had a chuck like the FlexVolt on the Impact a while ago. DeWalt 895, I believe. They're coming out with a new chuck that when you spin it all the way open, deep inside, it's already got a hex shaft in it. So you can put a hex shaft in the chuck and just lock it, or you can tighten it down. Seems a bit gimmicky if you ask me, but they're going to be coming out with that shortly. You heard it here first. Trevor Mack says, why go with a brand new platform? Because Milwaukee's hard to find, because you think DeWalt's overpriced, because Makita's hard to find. They do have some tools, but you don't go to a store and have all the tools. Makita has a significant amount in Home Depot, but they've got a huge line of tools. Probably 80% of their tools has to be mail ordered. John says they should have let us see the battery life blades before use and the brad at the end. I don't care about that. Do you really care about the marketing test of them showing that? You're going to wait and see independent guys run these tests over and over again. That's where you're going to see this. This was just a dog and pony show, so we could see the pretty lights and see them run and get a general impression. All right, this was an introduction. This is sitting down, meeting each other, having a drink. The real stuff happens this week. I don't think XR means anything. I don't think it stands for anything. It's just usually they're brushless high-end tools. Steve says, I have an old rigid dual-port NiCad charger that has cooling fans in it that blows through the battery, so Ridge has been the innovator of that tech from Gen 1 tools. That stuff does go way back. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if Makita... I think Makita did it first, but I did a video on it a while back. Ace says, do you think the other platforms would come out with 24 line after seeing Flex? No, I don't think they will. I think that the next thing is going to be putting 2170 cells in everything. That's going to be the next big push. Joe says, do you know if the Flex drywall gun will have proprietary shafts? I don't know anything about the drywall gun. Brandon says, does the Flex SIP saw have horizontal and vertical blade positions? You can flip the blades. Yes, you can. I was looking up pricing. We're talking about pricing. So the 249 is on the one that I have. There's a cheaper one that I think is $200. Sorry, I just remember we were talking about that. There's that 1/2 inch impact I was talking about. So there's the one I have. It's $250. And there we go. There's the less expensive one for $200. And that one you get I think it's 2 of the 2.5 batteries, the charger, and the bag there. So that's the 2 tiers. You're going to see the 2 tiers mostly in the core tools, the drills and the impacts, and maybe a few other tools, the grinders, some of the other stuff. All right. Where was I here? Can't wait to see the people who accidentally release the bit when using the impact driver. You got to really, unless you're the type who pulls the trigger with your middle finger and uses, because I've done that sometimes. I'll do that when I'm using the top finger for controlling stability and stuff. But usually you're down here like that. So in that case, I don't think anyone's going to slip up here and accidentally. You really have to articulate it to do that. I don't think that's going to be like, oops, I dropped my bit again. Take your family to Egypt. The kids will never want to play in the sand again. My kids don't want to play in the sand now. I live in Vegas. Do they have a Lowe's for amateur hat? That's what I need. We should make one and sell it on the channel. Anthony says, I want something. By the way, but to Philly Fixed, by those who don't know, that's Jim. It used to be It's Always Busted in Philadelphia. He changed the name to Philly Fixed. I love what you did with your banner, man. That was a nice editing job. Costa Rica is the best Central American for many reasons. I've heard nothing but great things about it. I would love to go down there. For those of you who don't know, I had told him, so my dog, maybe you've seen it, I busted a tooth. My dog and I were roughhousing, and she reared up, and she whacked me, and she got me with the claw right on the tooth, and I heard a crack. And I'm like, well, that's not a good thing. And, and our dentist up there has been closed forever because COVID. And so I came down here and I was thinking about seeing a dentist or something. And then my friend's like, oh, you should go down to Costa Rica and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if you can fly anywhere. But I'm just getting my passport renewed. I'm waiting for it in the mail. I think I may actually fly down to Costa Rica because you can actually get, for the cost of going down to Costa Rica for a week versus the cost of doing dental work here, you can get some top-notch dental work done down there for the same price and get a vacation thrown in for free. Red Chop says, first time commenting on a YouTube video. I really like your channel. Gotta remember, Flex is comparing 24 volt to 18 volt. That's part of the value, is that they're priced similarly. They're priced just under the M18 and the DeWalt XR line. So if you're coming in at that price, then they're bringing 20% more to the table. Let's see here. The funny thing is, I didn't tell my wife. I was giving her email address, so she's sitting there on her phone going, why am I getting all these emails? Any guesses on if there will be a mid-torque? Torque Test channel, there they are, man. Be sure to check them out and subscribe. I don't know. I will ask them. I got a contact. I want to get them in touch with you. If you don't mind, if you could shoot me an email at red@denatools, and I would like to give your email to the guy that I know over there, because I want them to send you some stuff for testing. If they're going to extend further into the automotive lines. Is that Red's next song? Does Chevron have a patent on 24 volt? Somebody mentioned that they did. I'm not really sure. Justin says, I recently made my own toolbox tour. Please go look at it when you have time, and I would like to see your opinion on it. Is your channel Justin Smet? Send me an email, red@denatools.com, because otherwise I'll forget. I forget everything. I forget what I did, what I had for lunch. So Robert says, follow-up to question is why to go with a new line? You mentioned all tools in one place. Milwaukee, hard to find. Makita, Mailer. Why start a 20-volt line when Cobalt XTR exists? Because it's a step up. The Cobalt is a Value Pro line. It's a higher end. It's probably the highest end of the Value Pro line. This is going to be starting right where XTR stops and then continuing that up. There's going to be stuff here that you can't get in the XTR line. The Princess Jamie says, believe it or not, I've had surgery in Mexico. A lot of people are scared to go down there, but there's some great schools and stuff down there. They got some good stuff going on, and the price is right. Prices on healthcare in the U.S. is just highway robbery. Believe it or not, I just read that one. Apparently, I need to have some surgery myself. All right, let's see your torque test. It's a sure thing. We got any other questions? Jose says, hello, the bear. I'm just a retired man. My check is a joke. I try to contract all these companies for bad items to give a free repair. Dude, you can make good money repairing tools. There is a huge cottage industry doing that. And there's some guys I know that are making 6-7 figures running repair businesses these days. Will Flex make a head angle grinder? A flathead angle grinder. I'm not sure, man. They got 5 at launch. We saw, I think, 2 of them. What tool line would you recommend? Currently got a little invested in Rigid and DeWalt. High-end Cobalt looks nice. Also best bang for your buck. Cobalt is, for middle of the road, is best bang for the buck. For entry level, the high-end Ryobi, the Bauer, and the Skill line are all great values. For the Pro line, best bang for the buck is hard to do because the Pro line, everything's expensive. I love these new Flex tools. The question is, what's the pricing going to be when they go on sale? That's the real question. What are we going to see as far as sale prices on these? I will say this, Lowe's really likes to do good sales. Right now, Lowe's, I say, beats Home Depot on average for some really killer discounts. Go watch the Facebook page if you don't believe me. If you want to see all the killer discounts that people are losing their minds about, they're entirely at Lowe's. Fry Guy says, it looked up the price on the 2.5 amp hour battery. $150, same as Ego's 2.5, same company. Connor says, I watched the deals of the week and wanted to go buy the Iswing ball peen hammer because it was $2. My mom would not drive there. Don't feel bad. I went to my local store. They didn't have any. Michael says, off subject, have you ever used a 3-inch jet helical style benchtop planer? And if so, is it worth it, or what used to be previous benchtop planers? I used to be a huge fan of jet. I can still remember when I rebuilt that jet, one of my older videos, rebuilt that jet table saw. It was a beautiful table saw and all this stuff. Jet is not what it used to be, man. It just is. I don't think I would buy a jet tool right now. I would be looking at pretty much anybody else. I probably DeWalt is probably what I'd be looking at. Maybe Grizzly. Princess Jamie, I'm doing a mobile repair business in the coming year. Cool. That is awesome. You can get a van and do the whole build out and everything. I'd love to see that. Wait, I forgot. I have to shill properly. Because Flex is where it's at. I love them. They're great guys. I talked to Barnaby. He's a great guy, but the cheese factor is just, I wish we could move on that. I wish we could be mature enough as a people, as a nation, to be like, let's give up on this marketing, you know. But and somebody commented like they must not really have much of an opinion of people. I'll be honest, dude. I read all the comments that get made on these tool channels and stuff, and there's a lot of people who live up to the reason why they still do this marketing stuff, because people still eat it up. Pagan Wizard shows up. Hey man, so sorry I'm late. Will Flex have an 18 gauge nailer? I don't know at this point. Right now, here I'm gonna put a link to. This is currently what is on their on the Lowe's page. Now remember, if you want these, you got to go to Lowe's. Lowe's is going to be the exclusive place right now where you can get these, and for the foreseeable future. There is going to be maybe some online stuff, but it's going to be through serious tool, professional channels, that kind of resale kind of stuff. J.W. says, knowing that there will probably be battery adapters eventually, would the 24-volt batteries work with 18-volt batteries? I don't know. I'm not an electrical engineer enough to know if you could disperse that much electricity to get around it. Steven says, I've thought about restoring old woodworking tools and selling them for a profit. There's a guy who does that, Appalachian Woodworking. You got to look him up. He's got a YouTube channel, Appalachian. I think it's called Appalachian Woodworking. He has a YouTube channel, and he's got a Instagram page. He does beautiful work. Brandon says, check BrickSeek. You can get the whole Flex line for $80. That's pretty funny. Scott says, what I like about Lowe's is my military discount. They are fantastic about that. Home Depot claims they do something. There's a pain. Lowe's is great. John says, Mexico is nice, but the border sucks. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've gone across that border. It's been almost 15 years. I was driving around Baja. I used to love going down. I used to love going to Mexico. Dean says, I'm a family member. There's a new contract. He bought the Cobalt XTR to get started, but now he says he will use nothing else. I know pros, lots of pros who use those tools. The guys at Cobalt or at Shervon, they called them a pro value, basically for the professional who's value minded. And having been the dollar and cents guys in a lot of companies, the guy who has to make sure that things make sense and they're worth buying. I can see that. Now you probably see a lot of that in the channel where we talk about value and that, no, you don't have to buy this stuff. A lot of people have asked me, straight up, if, today, if they weren't sending them, would you buy those tools? The Flex tools. Would I buy this tool? And I can tell you flat out, I would not buy this tool for myself. And I can say that because I don't need a $250 tool. Is it worth $250? I'd say it probably is if you've got a job that demands it. I don't have any of those jobs. And if I need something that high end, I can go to Home Depot and rent it, or there's a couple places where I got a friend I can borrow it from. I mean, I'm saying if I wasn't a tool tester, because I now do have all these tools. But for the average homeowner, you don't need this. Now, may you want it? Sure. If you got the money for it, great. But I'm not going to sit there and tell people, hey, you're a homeowner, you're weekend warrior, DIYer, you need to buy these tools. You don't. Look at Skill, look at Bauer, look at Cobalt. Those are the ones to go to. And I'll say I've been, the Cobalt line, I've been just thrilled with how much they've expanded it, all the automotive stuff they've added to it. I just really hope we see that with the Flex line as well. Elkvist says, just this week switched from Earthquake to DeWalt from 20-volt tools. Love the tools. Had to go with a bigger line. Totally understand it, man. That's been the downfall of... That's why you don't see me pushing Earthquake. There's just not enough tools there to recommend it. Appalachian Axe Works. There he is, right there. Steve, that's your guy right there. Sorry I got the name wrong. What great content he has, man. And I wish I could take pictures like he does. They just look beautiful. He has some great stuff. Torque Test Channel says the Flex rep mentioned that they were going after carpenters, electricians, and other tradespeople. I imagine wrench turners are going to be left in the red brand per usual. I think they'll be left for now. They can only do so much at launch. Clearly, they're going after the contractors, a little bit of the Sparkies and whatnot. So we'll see that happen. Hopefully, they'll expand. I would love to see what they got the battery tech. really got to bring that down into the pits and let the mechanics have at it with that. An Orange says Hilti's still my go-to E-pin buy. I don't have one yet. You know, one thing I like to say about Hilti is we always talk about all this brushless tech. You look at Hilti. 90% of their line is brushed tech. All right, there's a reason. It's reliable, and it just keeps running and running and running. Justin Dow says there's going to be 1K YouTube blowing this up. I promise. Everyone wants to weigh in with their opinions. I think the Flex looks great, but like you, I don't really have a need.
Mom wants me to ask you if I should open the garage door a little bit.
Yeah, why don't you? Let in some fresh air in here. Did somebody have a nap?
Yeah, I did.
Someone's had some insomnia lately and been staying up too late. What was that?
What?
You opened it a foot.
Yeah, that's how much more money.
No, open up all the way. Sorry about the noise. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I've got to warn somebody. We're live streaming. But you can join us if you want.
I didn't mean to open the garage door. I didn't think I did.
Duncan did. I had him do it. It was getting warm in here. Connor says, I have to go. I bet it's getting late. John says, I'm glad I don't have to worry about Pro Tools anymore now that I'm retired. I bet. Not having to spend that money is a good thing. What's going on with the Rigid line? I don't know. I jokingly said to somebody the other day, Rigid keeps trying to reinvent themselves. They're caught in this. They can't be too good because every time they push themselves to be really good, I think they bump up against Milwaukee, and Milwaukee says, no, you can't do that. And then at the same time, Ryobi is stepping on their toes with their higher end stuff. So it's like they keep trying to reinvent themselves. They don't know what they want to be when they grow up. They're trying to figure it all out. I don't know. Sean says, heard someone mention jet planer joiner. Any opinions on Q-Tech? Did some research, but so there's an issue going on with Q-Tech. The guys who were doing Q-Tech dropped it and went and started something. I can't remember. Some of the W. And now there's a lawsuit because they're... Anyway, I wouldn't get involved in either of them until the whole legal thing gets ironed out. They did have some great stuff, especially for the money. It seemed like, in fact, I often recommended them. But for right now, I would just look somewhere else until they get their little tiff figured out. Well, Rigid is marketed for plumbers mainly. Well, the Rigid Red is marketed towards plumbers. Rigid Orange is their prosumer, value pro line. The Rigid hand tools are marketed towards plumbers. It's a plumbing brand that Emerson, who owns them, reached out to TTI and said, hey, would you like to license this brand? And TTI was already making the AEG line over in Europe, so they just re-tagged the AEG line as Rigid here in the US, and that's Rigid Orange. Elkvist says, I bought genuine DeWalt tools, but I went with third-party refurb batteries. They use the same cells or better, so quality shouldn't be a problem. The price is unbeatable. That's true. The problem with the aftermarket batteries is you can't rely on them to always use good stuff. They change suppliers so often. It's kind of ridiculous. Will Flex have any Sparky specific tools? I don't know. I do know they're going after electricians, that they want that market. They've got it. They want to go after Milwaukee. They want to eat Milwaukee's lunch. So I expect to see them showing up in all the same areas that you see Milwaukee. So I'm guessing that you probably will see this. Dirty Durbin says, I've already invested in Milwaukee line and do not plan to switch platforms even if Flex is more powerful. Who would? At the end of the day, unless it's like twice the power, and who needs that? Twice the power, I'd be drilling through the house. Oops, sorry about that. I don't see anybody being like, oh my gosh, it's so much better, I gotta drop it and switch. But there's a lot of guys who are just getting started, guys who are burned out on the system, maybe they didn't get the service they thought they were going to get, guys who lost everything in a fire, everything got stolen, and they're like, you know what, I wasn't impressed, I'm going to try the new line. there's a lot of case instances, especially for this first year, with people being like, oh, you get a lifetime warranty. Well, yeah, maybe I'll do it then. John says, Red Bear, thank you for all you're doing and for all you do for us. Shine on. Thank you, sir. And let's see here. One great reason to go with Bosch. They have a massive replacement parts market. They do. That is true. And Connor says, how do you enter the giveaway? Connor, you're 13, right? I think you have to be 14 to enter the giveaway. I kid. Send an email to Mrs. DeBear at denatools.com with the subject line of, Lowe's for Pros. All right. VMAX says, Nightman, gotta go, got work in the morning. Don't we all? I got Cubs. I got to get to bed. It's 7:43. Usually don't work this late. Spend it with the family. So thank you for your time here. Thank you for joining us for this. As I said, we're going to have a lot of great stuff. My demo with the saw cutting the railroad tie might get pushed back because Home Depot lied about having the freaking blade in stock. So now I got to find someplace else to get the blade tomorrow. I've been trying to get this blade for a couple days. It's not on Amazon. It's not anywhere else. It's only showing up in Home Depot and a few other places. And I go there. I went to 3 stores today. Nobody had it, even though it said it was in stock. I called one place. Oh, yeah, we got it in stock. I placed the order. Oh, sorry, we don't have it. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure you've liked, subscribed, rung the bell, because it is going to be kind of flex overkill this week, but there's a reason for it. This is a once in a lifetime tool launch, and we're just lucky enough to be here to see it. Anyway, would you post the email? Sure, Connor, just a second here. It's Mrs. DeBear at denoftools.com. There you go. By the way, my email address is red@denoftools.com. If you got a simple question, I get a lot of emails. If you got a simple question, feel free to reach out to me. If you're trying to connect or something else, that's my email. We try to make ourselves accessible here. We're real folk, just trying to be honest about our opinions. Anyway, till next time, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.